this?
Yeah, sure. We'll have to set it up over here.
Oh, wait.
What's going on, everybody? About to clean some fish, do a little talking about fishing, videos, upcoming videos. Who knows what?
How many people on there?
We'll have. Well, I just turned it on. I have Danielle as a
Backup plan.
guest star today. We're gonna have to set the. Hadn't done a live in a few days. Doing it back out under the fish cleaning shed. We got a thunderstorm rolling in, so y'all comment. Let me know if it goes to glitching, something like that. We'll just have to come back and do a live later. Got some good fish to show y'all today. Went and did some bank pole fishing last night. Had a pretty good night. And we got some flatheads on ice right now. It's going to take me a second to get the phone set up, get everything going here. So y'all be patient with me a minute. Maybe Danielle will come over here and talk to y'all and watch for the comments. I hadn't seen a comment yet. Hope I got all the stuff right. Getting everything set up. Y'all give us a few minutes.
Hello, Mr. Bill. We were just talking about you
So
just the other day.
Oh, I got this. I'm like zoomed in.
Yeah. We were always like we could depend on Mr. Bill being the first person in our life.
Let's see. How about that?
Y'all just joining in. There's Bradley. Oh.
She's trying to get my.
I'm trying to get on my
Yeah,
iPad
get that
so I can read comments. I'm sitting over here in the corner.
I think we're pretty good right here.
Hold
Everything's
up,
kind of
keep
middle of the screen. Got the comments rolling already.
We love the looter videos. We love going down there. We just went down there on Friday. It was
get
nice.
this set up for you.
And then good afternoon from Arkansas. Andre's in the house. Good evening, Bradley and Danielle. Hello from Iowa. Help me in. Willie's in the house. Let's see. Good evening, guys.
I had to build me a little shed. How's the wind noise? It's windy out here.
I just found you guys a few weeks ago. Love watching you and run the bait poles. We did that last night.
Last night. That's what we did.
And got home at like 3 a.m.
About to clean some.
We're talking over window. And then we got up about 7 and went back out to the river and ran them again. Let's see, glad to see it's raining. Joel said, glad to see it's raining, wash away our scent from them holes. That was a big one. Let's see. I think I read all of them. I think I'm caught up.
Wind noise not bad, y'all. The wind's blowing here. I don't know how it's going to affect the phone on the live.
It's good right now is what Andre says. No wind background here.
Ants coming from.
Hey, Mr. Bill. Willie said.
Somehow or another, we got to set that up. Maybe I can bring that over a little closer right there.
Bring what over?
You got this little extension cord here.
Oh, good. I can take mine back inside.
Someone need this for my,
I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Hello, Crunchy Cracker. We had a busy one. We're both running on very little sleep.
Running on fumes right now, y'all.
We took a nap, so expecting thunderstorms here in Indiana. The noise y'all hear is not wind at the moment. It's Bradley doing something.
Try and get that set up where you can eventually set me up. You know what? I think I'm gonna break this out.
Bradley's like,
My other one's a little dull.
bringing out the black
Everything's
pepper.
backwards. Can I?
That's on your settings.
If we're gonna watch this, can I spin it around the other way so they can see everything right, or
Whatever you want
don't
to.
worry about it?
I mean, I started
So
harvesting green.
set this
bell
to
peppers.
where I can see it. I'm gonna turn this around.
Well, right now I'm bringing it.
I know, but set it where I can get the picture right. Won't you stand right there? Stand straight up. Y'all give us just a second now. Get this around where y'all can see us oriented the right way since I got this out here. And I'll be able to.
Good evening from Tom. Now we see truck in the boat. Woo, we're making a circle. Got caught in a thunderstorm a little while ago on the river. That was from Joe.
Yeah, I seen where Joe posted that.
Willie says Danielle's got that. Look at her. Look at on her face. You keep correcting her.
What Look at there, y'all can read Black and Decker right now.
So we got a lot of questions on what is the
What is what?
type fillet knife, electric knife that we use.
Yeah, we get a lot of questions on that fillet knife.
That's it.
That's why I'm trying to get this set up here and see all that good. How about that? I think you standing straight up? Stand straight up. Stand up tall, girl, where I can see. All right. Comment, let me know. Can y'all hear Danielle? Okay, say something, Danielle.
Something. I don't know. Hold on.
Can y'all hear her fine? Y'all let me know.
Jugs last night. Let's see. What did you catch, Dylan?
Andre says yes. All right. Let's see.
Let's see. Willie says just got 2 of them knives. Thanks, Bradley. I love them. I'm gonna put.
Oh, let me see.
What are you doing?
I'm making sure I'm in the
Get
picture.
out of the way. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Black and Decker. There it is, right there. There's a brand new one. I think it got wet out here.
Look, maybe put something on my chair.
That's how it comes in the package. I don't know. Black and Decker needs to help us out. We should get something for selling all these Black and Decker knives for.
Hear her
'Cause
fun.
I know a lot of people.
Hear both of you great.
A lot of people comment that they got the Black and Decker knives and love them. So I don't know. Maybe they should.
Welcome to our live.
Maybe they should sponsor us. Cause we don't get nothing for telling y'all about them.
What will happen if you bait a hook net with Cody in North LA? Turtles? Laughing out
Probably.
loud. Dylan 1094.
Probably.
Dylan, we know.
Don't really know.
Yes.
I don't plan on baiting up here with pogies, and I don't think Mr. Jimmy will be here with pogies or not on that, but I know he come up here and caught some eel cats, what he calls them, channel cats.
Yeah, we're kind of buffering.
Last winter,
Kind of lagging.
if we're buffering, it's not good. Hopefully we're not lagging too much and we lose the live or something, y'all. I hate it when it does that. I don't know, eventually we might have to set up our lives cleaning fish. This is just my concrete down here and everything with my drain. It's where I've got all my electricity and everything set up. So I really don't like going like somewhere.
Got it wrapped around that
Yeah, I
thing.
know. Really don't like going somewhere else to dress fish. I ain't never had a problem with it cutting out too much right here.
No, but it could be just the weather.
Alright.
Tell them to let us know if they're still seeing us.
Y'all
Because the last person that commented was, and I'm watching it, so I just want to make sure that we're still good. Last person that commented said, looking for some bank poles. Be some Opaloosis.
Somebody comment real quick.
Or answer that question, too, while you're waiting. Okay, Willie, I shared this morning's video.
Are we still going?
Yeah, we're still going.
Somebody let me know.
We're still going.
We'll go back and answer all the questions here in a second.
Got a thunderstorm, so it was kind of lagging on us.
I guess I should have asked Mr. Jeff if they've got Dusty, if they've got their bank poles in by now. I'm not 100% sure. I think they got them in. We good?
Yep, we are
Everything
good.
looks
Ready
alright?
to go. Ready to
I'm gonna
roll.
get a
They're
fish
ready
up
to
here.
watch fish.
Get the filleting, but I need one more thing. I need, huh?
You got that one.
What?
The huge fish.
Yeah, we got a big flathead, y'all. I am gonna
We
have
get
to.
up to 100, we'll pull it out.
Uh,
100 people. 100 likes. Woo. I'm gonna have to go straight
honestly, I
to the
need
ball.
ice chest to put the fillets in.
Pick one. We got about 5 right there.
I'm gonna use this one. Might help if I cut the water on.
It's been a while since we've been on live.
We're a little rusty.
Crunchy. We've
I'll
been
tell y'all.
busy lately.
Let me get all this set up, get the filet and fish, and I'll tell y'all what all's been going on.
A lot of fish. is what's going on. That's right, Mr. Bill. That's right. That's a sneak peek if you're over there on the Bayou Bell Outdoors. Then you
What's she
know.
done posted?
Then you probably know how big that fish is.
What's she done posted?
I put it short.
See, if y'all was subscribed over to Bayou Bell Outdoors, you never know, she's kind of sneaky. She posts some of those sneak peek stuff. You end up seeing something a lot more of what's going on. How many people you got on?
We got 77 rolling.
That works. Ain't bad.
When we get to 100, we'll bring that fish out. I'm not lifting it up again, because now that it's frozen solid, how long did it take Bradley to grow that beard? We were just talking about that with you. Probably about 4 years.
Been right at 4 years. Who was that asking that?
Ken Yates. The only time he's really had it like shaped up, trimmed, not really shortened up, is
Got a little bit of a lag on the video, on the live.
For our daughter's wedding. He kind of had it kind of shaped up.
Let me go get some ice real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You
I'll
get
talk to
over.
ya.
You get over and talk to him.
Looks nice. Oh yeah. Y'all should see whenever he gets out in the weather. He just goes. Let's see. Only 23 thumbs up, folks. Keep the channel up the channel and click it up. Yep. Don't forget, hit that like button. I hope y'all are enjoying our Sunday video. Bradley, that was a video he absolutely enjoyed doing. He enjoyed that privilege to get to go down there and take part of that. So he did. He enjoyed that one. Come on. Y'all want to watch me clean this? I can skin it out. We got Oakley down here. She's ready for a bite. Bait poles, I really like the 8-footers. That's what Bradley, whenever he gets back, he was, we caught these on bait poles. I think he was going to check with Dusty and them. He hasn't talked with them to see if they got theirs in.
I can't text him now because
He's on the... Yeah, today's video was awesome, and we thank everybody for watching it and getting it out there. That was a great video. Definitely, I know he'll probably talk more about that one whenever he gets over here, but I know that got even more information. He couldn't put all of that out there, so I think he'll go over all of that later with everybody.
Yeah, I'm bringing bank poles.
Hello, Mr. Greg.
You hear me?
What?
I'm bringing a bank pole.
He's bringing a bank pole now. But yeah, we had a great night on our bank poles. Really good night. We caught several flatheads and a few blues. We ended up going brim fishing, putting out pool noodles on the lake.
All right.
There we go. Hello from New York. I just bought a dozen bank poles. Hadn't baited them yet, but excited to see how it turns out. That was Willie.
Willie just said he just bought a dozen.
Yes.
Bank poles are legit, Willie. Got to get, you know, it's one of them deals. I'll tell you in a minute. That's the poles from Opaloosis bank poles. A lot of people been waiting on these. They've been out of stock. Had some issues with the temporary tariff and all of that. Of course, the materials come from overseas on a lot of this stuff. A lot of our goods in the U.S. This is the poles we were using last night. I put me a piece of flagging up here. They already come with a string, weight, hooks, all that on it. Do like this heavy swivel. What I can tell y'all, this is the threaded couplers. So you can take this is the 8-foot ones here. So you got a 4-foot section. You can pull up to a steep bank, take a rubber mallet and drive it in, and then just got the castration rings right there. Take the castration ring off your hook, thread it in like that right there. Run it in there. I'm not going to thread it up all the way because I just got to undo it. These are a very good system. We caught 12 flatheads last night, is what we caught. And we caught the 12 flatheads on not 100 hooks or nothing, not 50 hooks, not even 25 hooks, not 20 hooks. We had like 15 hooks out. That's it. We're not, you know, when we're taking our live bait out there. Right now, this time of year, a bunch of live bait is really hard to keep alive. It was 98 degrees yesterday evening at 7:30 when we left the house. We lost some bait. We had some bait die. Had it set up on oxygen. Chilled the water. G-juice. Everything we could do to keep our bait alive, we still lost some. That's just the nature of the beast. Summertime like this, goes getting hot. It's tough. I get questions on that, how you keep your bait alive. Well, all of those things help, but there's no guarantees your bait's gonna stay alive. Goldfish will stay alive, no problem at all. You can try goldfish. They're easy to keep alive. You can put a bubbler on them, keep goldfish alive. Brim, totally different story. You're gonna struggle keeping them alive. Mudcats are a little more hardy. We had one mudcat last night, didn't get bit. Caught most of our flatheads on brim, no doubt. And when we run out of brim, we had goldfish for backup. We had small goldfish. They had sold out of the big ones. So we put out some goldfish. And we know we had a couple fish this morning when we went back and run that hit some goldfish. So I'm not going to say you're not going to catch flatheads on goldfish. You may catch flatheads on goldfish. They're going to have to be biting pretty good. But, you know, live goldfish is better than no live bait at all. So, not a bad idea when you're out bank pole fishing to take maybe some goldfish with you, you know, just for a backup. Half a pound of it. You don't need a lot. Whatever. I'll show y'all something else. Real quick on the bank poles. These are the Opaloosis bank poles. We were sponsored by Opaloosis bank poles, Mr. Dusty Jesters. Up in Arkansas. A lot of people have been trying to get these bank poles. I know I'm pretty sure he just got 2,000 of them in. He may have some still in stock. I do know they had a long list of names that they had taken while they didn't have them in stock. But you can call him, check. 50 and 100 bank poles. So if you're watching this live and you're interested in these style bank poles, I'm not here to throw a sales pitch, anything else like that. They did sponsor us some bank poles. They work. They simply work. I did not take any of my homemade ones last night. We hung 2 limb lines and we didn't catch a fish on limb line. Every fish we caught was on these bank poles. We only had, I think, 15 hooks out, 15 bank poles. We had the 8 foots. This is the 8 foot. This is the upper section of the 10 foot ones. So this is a 5 foot section. These are 4 foot sections.
It looks like you're fixing to do a sword fight with all of you.
She's crazy. But yeah, what I'm gonna tell y'all about these. One, we had some hooks on them. Those hooks work good. We caught a 46 pounder on one of them, but the 46 pounder almost straightened that hook. We're going to be changing all of our hooks out to the Mustad Ultra Point, I think it is. That's a 10-aught right there, circle hook. I snailed this one on there. We had 3 or 4 of these we were testing last night. I'm checking it right now for sharpness. It's still sharp. We had some frenzies out. We caught fish on frenzies. This one's still really sharp. Like I said, I'm testing these, but I'm probably going to change all of our hooks out to these. Every one of them that caught last night caught right in the corner of the mouth, and they're not straightening. They're not going to straighten at all. Yeah, that one's still razor sharp.
Did you tell them about how much they cost?
The hooks?
I don't know if
bank poles? Oh, I don't know. Y'all going to have to look at the website.
If it's the bank pole.
Look on the bio on our channel. Go to the main page of our channel. Look on our bio in the description and comment section. All of our videos, or most of them, will be dropping from time to time. Our link tree, it'll have our merch store for our hats, shirts. Got some coffee cups, stuff like that coming on there. Some koozies on there now. And you'll also find a lot of our sponsors in there. Opaloosis Bank Poles, Bayou Threads, Swamp Gear USA,
Gizzard
Chesson Smoke.
We ever use gizzard
Got a question, got a text today, where can I find the rocket stove at? Chesson Smoke. You gotta go directly on their website to order. We don't get nothing off of that.
Y'all, but it is awesome. We love ours.
Yeah,
I cannot say enough.
You're just gonna consistently see us dropping videos cooking on this thing, because it's what we use outdoors to cook now.
Even at our house.
Don't have to worry about the little propane bottles. Ain't got to worry about taking propane and all of that. We still use that stuff too in conjunction with this, but it's straight up firewood. I keep a 5-gallon bucket of firewood with me. I can cook about any meal on that thing with a 5-gallon bucket of firewood or less. Most of them take about half a gallon. Those are product sponsors. They don't pay us anything to talk on our lives or our videos about their products. None of these products, we have not to date taken a paid sponsorship from anybody. So they're products we use. That's why I say I'm not trying to sell these. This is what I use. They're fine for what they are. You know, you're gonna need to rig up some weights. Get you some big 200, 250 pound swivels.
Hey Drake, Keith and Tara.
Extra hooks, some line. Have all that ready. Last night, or this morning, we had one hung up, tried to pull it up, snapped the line, lost everything on it. So I got one, I've just got a pole on, you know. So I'm gonna have to retie me a new line, all of that on there. That comes with it, that's part of it. So let me come back and we'll talk about setting these, how to set them, where
I'll quickly go through the questions. Yeah, keep thumbs up coming, people. We're over 100 100 people. I'm not looking at his phone.
How many we got on there?
We're over 100, and I'm not on my other one to see exactly how many are on here. But maybe real quickly he could bring that big one out, because I said once we hit 100, you want to lift it up. Go. He can try his muscles out.
I'm lifting this up right now.
What's in there?
Adult beverage.
Water.
Water. Ottawa.
It's been
Too
hot
low.
this weekend, and we've been so active. Yeah, we're
I'm
like
telling y'all, I'm trying to refuel.
drinking lots
If
of
I'm
water.
seem like I'm a little out of it, that's because I'm a little out of it. Look, we have been running.
Non-stop.
Let me finish about the bank poles. We get a lot of questions about how to set them, where to set them.
What size weight on that bank pole?
Ain't calling no names. We got YouTubers shooting us messages. Where do I put these hooks at? Where do I do this? You know, they see what we're doing, they want to go and do it. Y'all see these right here? This is my best way to describe this. Y'all see that right there? That's an old, this one got left out. Dylan trapped when he was younger, left it out. It wasn't properly dipped, dyed and all that. Got a little rust on it. But that's an old coon trap, right? So, a lot of people know, if they've ever seen one of these or used one of these, to set a trap and catch where there's coon gonna walk, right? You gotta set it where he's gonna be. Or you ain't catching, he's gotta put his foot in this. So, it's the same way with a catfish. If you want to catch a catfish like this, a flathead catfish, the guys that consistently catch catfish will tell you. Today's video, Mr. Jimmy, perfect example. If you want to catch fish in a hoop net, you got to set the hoop net where there's fish at. And that's the thing, you know, we're not, you know, we're YouTubers here, but we're not going out there and inventing this content or making something up. What we're doing, we're going and doing what I've been doing for 40 something years, and we're filming it. And that's the difference between us and a lot of people. So I get these questions all the time. Comments, emails, messages, text, phone calls. I got wire nets, I'm not catching no fish. Is this the right wire net? You know, nets, you can use a lot of different style nets, but you gotta have one that will catch. It doesn't matter if it's a little different than mine, that's fine. You still gotta have one that will catch a fish. And you gotta put it where there is a fish. So one, you got 95+% of the water does not have fish in it. You got tons of fish, but they're normally congregated. They're normally pretty close to each other. And you got to put that net, that hook, that fish trap, whatever you're using, where there's fish at. That's the first key to catching these catfish. Then with flatheads, yes, you can go in tight line with fish heads and cut brim, whatever, shad, whatever, and you will catch flatheads. If you put that on a limb line, you're catching a gar, a turtle, or a blue cat, or a channel cat, okay? You're probably not going to catch a flathead. So to catch a flathead on a limb line or bank pole or trot line, more than likely you need live bait. Live goldfish, live brim, live bullheads, live baby carp, whatever is legal in your state, that's what you're going to need. Now, last night, it was hot, right? We knew it was hot. We were already struggling. We had it set up. We had some people in from out of town. Guess what? Keith and Tara and Drake, that Louisiana Life, was here all weekend. Spent 3 days with us shooting video. I'll tell y'all about all that in a minute. We had caught up a bunch of brim, had them in a live well, where we caught them at. Thought we were good to go. Most of them died yesterday in the heat. Struggled last minute, got some goldfish, caught a few more brim, took what brim we had, did the best we could. We knew when we left we was probably going to lose some brim, right? So we left late, right before dark. When it got dark on us and I turned my headlight on, by the way, shout out to Cajun Lights, another product sponsor. I used my Cajun light all night last night doing limb lines, and Danielle used hers. We used our Cajun lights. That's the only headlights we used, other than lights in the boat. That's what we did our filming and everything with. Shot a limb line video last night. That's going to be coming out on Keith and Tara's channel, That Louisiana Life. Y'all go check them out if you hadn't already. Subscribe to them. I know most of y'all are. And it's going to be coming out on our channel. Our version of it will in a few weeks. I'm not sure which one. I can't remember which one they're dropping next week. They're going to be having a brim fishing video come out. We'll be cooking on the rocket stove in that video. And me and Danielle's going to be having a pool noodle fishing, jug line fishing video. Huh?
Drake is on there.
Drake's not in the pool noodle one. Drake slept.
He's on here.
Oh, yeah, he slept during the pool noodle filming.
He was recovering.
He was recovering from fishing and all that the day before. Anyways, gonna be some really good stuff. We filmed 4 videos this weekend, y'all, in 3 days. That's why I'm looking at a little tired. But anyways, we got our best baits on, and when it got dark and I turned my light on, we had 5 bank poles in the banks. And the reason we had 5 bank poles in the banks is because I didn't know what level the river was at, so I had to look to figure out where I was putting each pole. You cannot just go and put these poles just anywhere to catch a catfish. You can, but if we'd have put them in the wrong places, we might put out 20 baits and 15 of them been dead with no catfish on them. What I'm saying is it's just like trapping coons. I'm looking at banks. Sometimes we would motor 100 to 500 yards up the bank. Some curves in the river, I put 1 bank pole out, and we would catch fish on that bank pole. I'm not putting bank poles just everywhere. You have to figure out where those fish are. Where can you keep a bait alive? So you can go back, watch some of our other videos. I'm not going to get into too much of showing how or telling how and all that on a live. You're going to have to watch our videos. I get questions all the time. People watch our video or comment on a video. They're obviously not watching the video because we covered what they're asking in the video. So
I still like the questions though.
They gotta watch the videos. You know, that's the whole point of us doing this. If you watch the videos, go back, watch the older ones. I can't even keep track of them in my head because we've been doing this over 5 years now as far as which video you need to go and watch. I had to go back and look them up sometimes. So I think a lot of times if people go on our YouTube channel, they scroll down so far and it like cuts them off, you're not seeing all of our videos. We got what, 800 and something videos on there now? A lot of them are shorts. Probably 300 and something long videos.
Oh no.
You got to click on video or short and scroll those lists. And you got our playlist. If you scroll over on our, if you go to our main page, you got playlists that'll have like fishing, cooking. You can break it down so you don't have to look at all those videos. You can get to a specific subject. Now I need to go back in there and update probably our last 3-4 months of videos.
I don't mind the questions.
And get those on the list. So how many people you got on? You got on over 100?
Glenn said, so whenever I ask you what your wife's name is, you apparently said it in a video. You asked for it. Okay, so I am.
How many people you got on?
Listen, can you focus on the
112?
question? Okay.
What was the question?
What is, because I've already asked you this once, and then you get on your rabbit trail or your soapbox. Weight size on the bank poles. What is it that's being used? What size?
4 to 6 ounce. I mean, it depends. Y'all check this behemoth out. I'm out of juice, y'all. I can't keep holding these fish up. Oh, look at that. I'll get all the hate in a few minutes, I know it.
Mr. Bill said he's been working from the beginning of our videos and he's up to the slat trap fishing 2 years ago.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. I mean, that's, you know, a lot of this stuff we're going to revisit. I just bought some cheese. Guess what we're going to do a video on? Slat trap coming up.
Willie, let's see. I'm sorry, y'all. Got a couple people saying that's a giant, that's a big cat. Willie said he uses old cast net weights on my poles and limb lines.
Those are, I think, 4-ounce weights. I think on those Opaloosis mink poles.
I know Glenn asked another question. Let's see.
Glenn knows your name. I guess. Is he seriously asking your name?
No, because you told people whenever they were asking questions, do you not hear what you said?
Oh, yeah. I'm a little tired, y'all. Y'all gotta be patient with me tonight.
No, y'all don't be patient with him. Give him heck. No,
That's a brand new knife right there. That's a brand new blade. 20-pound catfish, 18, 20 pounds, something like that.
you're
Right through the ribs,
with the
no
news
problem.
from the Texas flood. Y'all, that's horrible. Dealing with the Texas flood.
Yeah, I haven't honestly had time to sit down and watch a lot of. I've heard they got some bad stuff going on with the Texas floods, but I hadn't sit down and like really listen to it or watched it. To be honest about it.
And as for it says war and politics, that'll never end. So that's just part of life, right there. I know you were joking, Glenn.
I'm beating my.
I really pay attention to your jig making and your taxidermy. I can sit and watch you work mounts for hours. Well, he doesn't do that much anymore. We got to let Bradley get some rest. No, Willie, he brings this on himself.
I'll be right back.
Getting a smile out of Bradley is like one in every 3 or 4 videos. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's see. Do you guys like raw fish or sushi? I like cooked fish. Bradley, you like raw fish or sushi?
I don't like raw fish or sushi.
I like cooked fish, is what I said.
Yeah, I like cooked fish. Who likes raw fish or sushi?
When I'm picking you guys up at the airport back in Arkansas, how about salmon fishing? No, I think that's Alaska. Okay, Alaska. Sorry, y'all.
Who's talking from Alaska?
Wait, where'd it go? John?
John? Huh?
I want to say Han. H-A-H-N.
Oh, yeah. Josh.
Josh.
Is Josh?
It says Josh. Alaska.
You said John.
Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, if I said John, I'm so sorry.
No, what did Josh up there? You back in Alaska?
Yeah. At first it said Arkansas. I said back in Arkansas, but no, I went back and I said back in Alaska. How about
He was in
salmon?
Kansas.
How
But you
about
back in
salmon
Alaska?
fishing? When I'm picking you guys up at the airport, do you guys want raw fish or sushi? I'm willing to try it, but yeah.
I've eaten tuna sushi that like with some soy sauce or something. I'm not a big sushi guy. I'm just not.
I've only tried one, and they said it was actually cooked.
These flatheads this size are like really easy to hit with this electric fillet knife, y'all. You can do them quick on
That's
this
that
size.
cheese smell, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, heat it up. I gotta get rid of that bucket.
He said, yes, sir, back in Alaska, I brought crappie back to eat.
There you go.
There you go.
I don't reckon they got none of them up there in Alaska.
You guys make a very good team together. Love watching all your videos. Southeast Texas. Thank y'all.
Alright.
I went back and watched video when y'all were fishing the flooded river and noticed your bow lights with pod lights. We need a good look at those.
Oh, what? Bow lights.
Must be
Bow lights?
B-O-W?
We were doing what? That's bow.
Bow. Like, bow.
What? Read it again.
Okay. Now I'll change it to bow. Must be one of like deer and deer, you know.
Read it, so.
Let's see. I went back and watched the video where y'all were fishing the flooded river and noticed you said bow lights with the pod lights. We need a good look at those.
Oh, I made those. I took my front light, cut it, put a coupler on it, welded a piece of angle iron, mounted me 2 LEDs there, and that's one of the bow lights that you push the button and it goes from, it's got like a rear light that lights up where you can see the deck, or I put that wire going to my floodlights, my little flood spotlights. They're the 4-inch or the small cubes. That's how I did that. But that's a homemade rig there. I made that.
What size of her, what are we looking at?
I don't know. Thought I heard something.
What size is that fish?
This fish? 5 pounds, probably. This one right here.
Now that big one that he raised up earlier.
Oh, the big one's 46.
46.
46 pounds. Put it on scales. That's the only one we actually weighed. We did put it on scale. It's 46 pounds. That's a good one for here in North Louisiana on the Ouachita River. Yeah, that's a good one. To be honest with y'all, I struggle setting all this up for the lives and stuff. I don't know. I guess I need to.
Glenn said he uses bathroom skills for that.
I guess I need to spend some time and set it up better. I actually don't clean fish like this right here, so it's not real, guys. I'm sorry. No, I actually stand where the phone's at right now and clean fish from that side, and our drain and all goes this way. But I don't really like the view when we turn around the other way. I don't know how much. I guess y'all can see my house and all. We're going to lose the light out here. I'm not sure if we've done a live after dark out here or not. We already cleaned. We had 12 flatheads last night. Like I said, Keith and Tara was here. Appreciate them coming up.
Any tricks that you know for getting the fish smell out of your hands after butchering?
Toothpaste. Lemon, maybe.
Curious, what
Dawn.
do you do with, I use Dawn, and then...
I don't worry about it too much. I probably smell like a fish all the time. But, no, I mean, I wash my hands with Dawn.
Well, it said you're at your best angle right now.
Probably somebody on here comment on that question too.
Glenn just said mint toothpaste.
Mint toothpaste, yeah. Toothpaste will get a lot of stuff gone.
What do you do with the flake carcass?
Fillet carcasses go back to nature.
Feed our turtles in our pond.
Feed the turtles, buzzards, all the critters that we don't want, like raccoons and stuff. It's kind of like a sacrificial deal. They eat those instead of people's chickens and stuff. Crawfish got to eat. Turtles, snakes, all that stuff's got to eat. So anything goes back in the water or back in our pond or back on the 40 here. Coyotes will sneak through. You know, we dump them out. I think it's good to put it back in the water, you know. That way your turtles and crawfish and little fish and stuff can eat. Maybe somebody else.
Bill said baking soda and water is a good thing.
Baking soda's good. Maybe somebody will comment on that, what they do with their carcasses. That's the thing about the lives, y'all. These questions that get asked, don't let me be the only one to answer them, because I learn from y'all too, you know.
They said, okay, good. I would hate for it to go to waste.
Nothing goes to waste, you know. I mean, that's, you know, we get a lot of hate. Why don't you take that ain't a quarter size on a fish like this. A lot of waste. Not really. It's not, you know. You can see, I can see through this backbone right here. So, yeah, I mean, you could cook the backbone and eat it. If we had one fish, we probably would, but we don't got one fish. We had 12.
Crunchy says, I was fishing Friday and a snake came out of the rocks at me. Snakes are out.
Snakes are out. We seen some snakes this weekend.
I haul mine to a nearby creek and feed the turtles. We throw them back in the river away from the bank. It's actually what local game wardens request.
129 people on here. I know some people's probably at church right now too.
Let's
Or
see, is
going
there
out to
any
eat, all
one
that stuff.
species catfish that is better eating than the rest? Bradley would say channel cat.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got a different favorite, you know. I mean, you'll hear most people are going to say flathead catfish. And I'll say this about flathead catfish. You take that one right there, for instance, 5-6 pound catfish, flathead. That is one of the most delicate meats right there. Like, that is a fine eating fish.
Hey, Travis.
Right there, y'all. Where's my skinners? What happened to my skinners? Oh, they're under the iPad. Set that up where you can see it, girl.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I like them channel cats.
If I got one fish, I let my garage cats have the carcass. There you go. They
Yeah.
gotta eat too.
I mean,
My dad swears by stainless steel washcloths will get the smell out. Smell off. I'm sorry. Catfish skinners is like 10 millimeters.
yeah, you gotta have them. Don't leave
I've
home without them.
butchered several big cats with crappie in them. Ever try crappie for bait? Have you ever tried crappie for bait? Please, Brian.
Crappie for bait?
Yeah. I learned something new.
I have not used crappie for bait. Every state's different. I'm going to tell y'all now. Don't take my word for it. Louisiana's different. You cannot use wild caught crappie by Louisiana law for bait. I know some states you can use crappie. Supposedly, what the game wardens told me, because I asked them last year when we got checked, they were checking us because somebody reported that they seen somebody catching crappie in a cast net and using them for bait on the limb line. So what does everybody have to do? Everybody has to call the game warden. All the Nancy's out there, or not Nancy's, what is it, the Karens, all the Kansas, I don't know why I got on Nancy's.
We call them Nancy's.
Sorry, Nancy's. All the Karens got to call the game wardens, right? Because
People that can't mind
look,
their own
I
business.
seen the guy throwing a cast net. He was in the mouth of a slough. No, it wasn't even a creek. He was in the mouth of a slough. Where he was at, I know, because I've lived here my whole life, was literally like a foot deep, 2 foot deep. He was not putting sockeye, crappie, white perch on bank poles. He was trying to cast net some shad and cutting up the shad, putting them on bank poles to catch some blue cats. The guy wasn't hurting nothing. He's by the law, and he gets the game wardens called on him. So what do? They're running up there and they're checking us and everybody else that was fishing up there, and they wanted to know where our bait was at. Well, it was hot. That was something else we do. We had left our bait at a camp under a tree in the shade because, you know, but they were checking, obviously from the call, they were just trying to find out who was, figure out who had been reported, but it wasn't us. No. I'm pretty much by the book, the way the story goes anyways. But yeah, we had staged our bait at a camp in the shade till it got dark. You know, that's something else we'll do. We'll wait till right at dark to go bait these things, y'all. Especially this time of the year when it goes to getting hot.
Okay. Let me see what comments.
What I was saying though, Louisiana, I think you can keep them out of your pond. And I asked them, I said, well, how do y'all know if they come out of your pond or somebody's pond? They said, oh, we'll know. So they got ways of knowing, you know. Pond fish, pond sac-a-lait look a little different than wild caught ones. So I guess they can tell.
Hey, Travis said hello. I've already. And then Josh said,
Hello, Travis.
my dad swears by stainless steel washcloths will get the smell off. Willie said, I already read those.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're tired too.
Okay. Willie said that the crappie for bait here in Alabama is illegal. Glenn said flathead, blues, them channel in that order. That's our preference, but we trim them super heavy and never eat fillets. That's not everyone because it takes a long time to clean a fish. And then my company can't believe y'all are saying the fish you're cleaning are 5 to 6 pounds. You need to start whenever you pick it up and you put it on the, well, the other one, a while ago you said 5 pounds.
Y'all think they're bigger or smaller?
I think they're saying they're bigger.
I mean, I can weigh them. I got scales, but they may be 7 or 8, some of them. I just don't want to say they're
The only
bigger
one
than
we
they really
know
are.
for exact weight is that really
The big
big
one's 46. We put it on scales.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that my scale, I mean, it's old hanging scales. It's not to say my scales could be a little off. He sure feels like he's heavier than 46.
Shaving cream was a recommendation on getting the
Yeah,
smell.
shaving cream probably do it.
I haven't thought of that one though.
Danielle's got some soap. She may can tell what it is, y'all. It's like a hand soap, and it kind of smells like raspberries or something. What's that berry stuff you got in our bathroom?
Probably from Bath and Body Works.
Yeah, that stuff, when you, like, you wash your hands with it, yeah, it knocked the fish off, too. I don't know what it is. It comes in a little pump
Bath
bottle.
and Body Works.
So
Talk to
they've
your
got some
wife.
scented stuff. That'll work good. Get the fish smell out.
Let's see. What army are you feeding with all those fillets?
I mean, catfish stay good in the freezer
We have several.
6, 7, 8 months. No problem whatsoever. We don't fish a lot during hunting season. We stocked up our freezers in the off season. I'm still saying 6, 7 pounds on these fish because
And he just
that's probably-
responded bigger, like 20 pounds. I'm laughing
Oh, no.
so hard.
No. No, the first one I did this off of this fillet.
And it's Zany. I hope I'm saying that
That's
name
probably
right.
about 18. I mean, I've weighed so many of these fish, y'all, over the years, so I can look at them and probably tell you within a pound what these fish weigh.
Let's see. No game fish in Texas for bait. I know Mr. Bill commented. And here in Tennessee, as long as you catch them pole fishing, you can use crappies for bait.
And see, to me, look, crappie are plentiful. I wish, I wish we could use them, no problem. Me, if you catch them on a pole, y'all be able to do what you want with them as long as you're within your limit. My opinion, But I don't make the laws.
Let's see.
I did talk to somebody that helps make the laws this week. That was an interesting conversation.
What's the point of not allowing the use of wild caught crappies to be used as bait? That's just a general question.
And that's exactly what I was just saying. He commented that before I just said what I said. In my opinion, Louisiana's limit on crappie is 50 a person. Some states can't keep a 50 bluegill, but they let them use them for bait. I mean, if I want to eat those crappie or use them for bait, I ought to be able to, in my opinion.
You ever barbecue the ribs from those fish?
No.
No.
We did? Oh, yeah. There you go. Good idea.
Yep.
The video, let's just say the channel cats. We did some whole fryers, a little different. coming up in, that's going to be this week's video. Yeah, going to be video with Keith and Tara with us from That Louisiana Life.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up this weekend, whole new method on cooking whole fryers. Y'all ain't going to want to miss this one.
I'm doing great catching channel catfish using crayfish as bait. Watching it from southeast Kansas.
Crawfish work.
Love y'all's content. Keep up the great work. Thank y'all for watching.
Appreciate y'all.
Misty Walker. You
Everybody-
ever barbecue? Oh, I said that one. Do y'all have catfish stew recipes? We
You
did.
got your phone with you?
We did a catfish stew,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we
but
got...
we need to do that again. And like, because some people, not everybody, some people, they like fish without all the bones and stuff. And without the ribs,
Yep.
steaks. Do that again. That
See
sounds
where our
good.
video's at, today's video.
Okay,
Talk about
so
it a little bit.
let's 150. I think we got over 150 crunchy on the. Crunchy's keeping up with us on the live.
Appreciate y'all. Man, I'm telling y'all, like, we got some people getting on board with the channel now. Channel's growing good. A lot of good things happening on the channel. Like I said, Keith and Tara and Drake were here. That Louisiana Life. We've made real good friends with them. Appreciate them and everything they've done for our channel. They've helped us out a lot. It's nice to have some people in the YouTube world. Adam, Redline Outdoors.
Glenn.
It's nice to have some people in the what we do in common, you know, to work with and bounce ideas off of our heads, each other's heads,
Let's see.
to help grow these channels and build the outdoor community.
A lot of meat right there. Willie says the river I always fish here in South Alabama is finally going to come down about Wednesday. Hopefully I will be able to stay with it until at least Saturday. Put something in the freezer.
Washtaw's coming down, Willie. You're on the Tom Bigby, right? Washtaw's coming down right now. Seen a few people out fishing. It's so hot, people just ain't gonna. A lot of people aren't gonna get out and fish like this, you know.
And Crunchy fishes in northern Alabama and catches blue cats and channel cats. Now Willie just commented a little bit ago, because I'm just now catching up on the comments, but he said please let Bradley elaborate on the lawmaker he talked to.
I knew that was coming.
Uh-oh. Hold your thoughts. Let's get through some of the, because I know what you're talking about. In Texas, we're only allowed 25 crappie, and they got to be 10 inches or bigger. I know I missed one. Somebody said, well, Just Water Pipe said, that's a lot of meat right there. Let's see. Catfish freeze well and last a long time. Yes, they do. But we don't keep fish in our freezer very long. We either give to people or...
Yeah, we'll give some away, you know.
Yeah.
Help feed the hungry.
A.K.A. our family.
Yeah,
And
family and friends. They all hungry.
We are also only allowed 25 catfish a day, and only one can be over 30 inches.
What state is that? Texas?
Texas.
Yeah, Texas is off the chain a little bit.
Yeah, we watch
You
y'all's
know,
game more than
I mean, let's be honest. Texas got a bunch of illegals been coming across the borders down there for, and no, I'm not talking about races and ethnicities and stuff. I'm talking about illegals. If you come in this country illegal, you know, you had millions of people coming across the Texas border. You overpopulated your state, right? Federal issue, state, whatever it is still a problem. The state for years been overrun with people. So, perfect example, it's overregulation, I'm sure, in some of those bodies of water in Texas. I do know for a fact they've got real strict on the crappie regulations, and now they got like all these crappie trophy lakes and stuff like that. They got some nutrients over there. They can grow big fish, obviously, big bass and stuff. But they also had some lakes that got overpopulated because they restricted them too much. There's always a toss up there. You know, when you make a new law. And yes, I was talking to the state representative of Louisiana this week. He called me, I think Tuesday morning, whatever day I was off, first day I was off this week. He called me that morning. I had talked to him about some issues here local last summer. Been working on it, all that stuff's slow, and he called me to discuss that and let me know that he was actually working on it. Trying to resolve some issues that we have that affect some of our waterways and stuff. If you're not careful, by putting certain policies, laws, regulations into effect, you can destroy a whole ecosystem, and that's kind of what was going on here. And you know, I just want to bring it to some attention last year and get it looked at. You know, hey, are we doing the right thing here? Because one or two people over there say, oh, this is what we need to do, that don't mean that's what we need to do. And our conversation was, I hope, productive. You know, and honestly, I told him straight up. I said, look, you know, we got this YouTube channel, got a pretty big following. A lot of people watch our channel. A lot of Louisiana people watch our channel. They're voters, you know, they're going to vote. We can do this one of a couple different ways. We can shed good light on things and, you know, tell our followers, hey, this is what we're doing to improve stuff. Or, you know, we're here in North Louisiana, Union Parish, and, you know, all these parishes in Louisiana, they want to bring tourism, right? So you want to add stuff to the parish, to the lakes, to the rivers. They want to bring in people to help grow the economy and stuff. Well, you don't do that by taxing us to death. We got the highest taxes in the state, highest taxes in the country, at like 14.5% or something stupid right now. You don't bring in tourism by doing that. You don't bring in tourism by restricting fish limits and stuff like that when it's not really going to do any good. What they should have done was brought in some people that actually do this kind of stuff like ourselves and talk to us about what's going to happen and how it's going to affect the system instead of just doing something on knee-jerk reactions. Louisiana is real bad about knee-jerk reactions. And no, I'm not reading the comments, but Danielle will come back and catch me up in a minute. Louisiana's bad about knee-jerk reactions. Sure, some of the other states are too. There again, like I said, Texas, you overpopulate with a bunch of people that's not even supposed to be living there. If you do that, you're going to hurt your resources. They're going to fish, they're going to catch fish, you're going to eat them. Possibly some of your, if there were some bodies of water that were hurting on fish population and stuff, that was probably your reason, you know, because you overpopulated your land and took more than probably needed to be taken out of some lakes and stuff. There is conservation, but I like to look at like conservation with a common sense approach. You know, there's places, Louisiana has the video we did this morning. I hope y'all seen this morning's video. We tried to put a little light on commercial fishing. A good light, not a bad light. Because people like to eat fish, right? A lot of people get older, they can't get out in this heat. Like, look, I'm dying here right now. Can't get out in this heat and do this what we're doing. We're chasing a dream, you know, with the YouTube channel. Who wouldn't want to go out and fish and catch flatheads and make videos and put them online? And, you know, people wish they could do what we're doing out here. But it's a lot of work. We beat ourselves up. Last 3 days, I've had 9 hours of sleep. So, I'm beat. I'm give out. And I'm out here doing live filleting fish right now. But I got to fillet the fish anyways. Wanted to come on and thank y'all for following us, for watching us. We had a video today come out. It's doing pretty good. Best release on any video we've ever done. Appreciate Mr. Jimmy Hickman for letting me come down. Me and him talked a little bit ahead of that. Come down, shot a video. He's a commercial fisherman in South Louisiana. If y'all didn't see today's video, highly recommend seeing it. You're talking about a world of knowledge. And the difference between somebody that would go and just shoot a video with Mr. Jimmy and what I did is, because I'm a net fisherman, because I've commercial fished, not to his scale, never want to. there's a guy that'll do that though, and it's him. You know, he's feeding a lot of people. He's putting a lot of people to work. We show up at the fish cleaning shed with those fish, and probably 30 people showed up to clean fish. You know, some of them come in with their work uniforms on. They went to work. You know, they might not can make no overtime. Come to the fish cleaning shed and clean fish that evening to make some money. You know, that's all taxes and revenue right back into the state. The net builders, we go over a lot of the cost involved. I wanted to do that. We talked about it ahead of time. Like, I didn't want to just go shoot a fishing video. I wanted to shoot an outlook into commercial fishing and an outlook into a pretty special person in Mr. Jimmy that's willing to go out there and fish to extreme measures to put food on his table, to buy his kids nice stuff, to live in a nice home. You know, that's the American dream, right? We talk about coming to America and the American dream. That is the dream. Go work hard, and that's what we're doing. That's why I've had 9 hours of sleep in the last 3 days. We're trying to build something with the YouTube channel. Didn't start out that way, but we're trying to build a community. And you're not going to do it sitting on the couch. You're not going to do it kicking back and relaxing, trying to do a little here, go catch 3 fish, catch, clean, cook. Yeah, I mean, come on, that's not what I'm about. This is what I did. We're building a YouTube channel, but we're doing it our way. This is the way we do it. This is the way Danielle's back. I'm looking over here. I don't know if y'all can see her or not.
They see half of me, and
but I
every
mean,
now and then I poke
you can ask Danielle. If YouTube never would have come about,
yeah,
I probably wouldn't fish to this extent as hard as we do.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would. But that's what we talked about actually this weekend with Keith and Tara, that everything we do, we're already doing it. It's just that some of this is.
Well, don't yet, because I'm just wash the fish off.
That's fine. That some of this, like taking pictures and stuff, we've always taken pictures, but there's just some little added, like, picture. I don't know.
And I am sure, y'all, that as tired as I am, I rabbit trail anyways and get off subject from questions and stuff. I do that anyways. I'm bad about that. But I really do it when I'm tired.
That's why I walk off.
I promise y'all.
Thanks, Willie, for getting him on
I'm probably getting off subject, everything else.
But that's why he has me here to sometimes get him back on.
The question was asked about the person I was talking to. It was state representative here in North Louisiana.
And our state representative is very involved.
He's very involved. I appreciate that. I'll let him know that I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting a phone call from him. We hadn't talked in 5 or 6 months, you know. And I knew when I talked to him it was going to be a long, drawn-out process. You know, I wasn't expecting something quick, but they are looking at, trying to improve the system. But I talked to him extensively from our standpoint about the way normal people, the average person, most of the people, the voters, not from a standpoint, and I'm not knocking anybody, I'm not talking about anybody, but I told him, he wanted me to come to a deal they have, a golf tournament and fishing tournament and all that they have, and I said, look, that's not me, that's not what I do.
Y'all can't picture Bradley golfing.
I used to golf a little bit, but that's just not us, that's not what we do. I'm not going in there, and I told him, I said, look, I'm not knocking what you're doing. What I am going to knock, though, is if you go in there and you have that little get-together, you're being entertained, or you're entertaining people that are not your voter base. The voter base is us. The people like us that just want to go catch a mess of fish to eat for supper, or fill their freezer for the winter, or be a commercial fisherman and go and make a little extra income on the side, a little side hustle. these are legal side hustles. We're not out there selling drugs and stuff. You know, we're not out there doing anything illegal. These are legal side hustles. It's hardworking people to do extra jobs. You know,
Y'all can't see us in the camera.
I'm washing
I'm
the
over
fish
here
right now,
staying out of the water, and Bradley's behind spraying off the fish.
trying to get these fillets on ice.
Yeah. Cause somebody did. Okay, let's tap back at the
Go back to comments. I ain't got.
Yeah, because Willie said that he's sorry.
I probably done lost people. There you go, Willie. You got me started.
Actually, no. We got a good following right now.
Well, I want them to know though that that's what we stand for, and we're actively trying to use what little bit of influence we got at this point, as far as having a bigger YouTube channel and a little bit in the.
Like I said, our state
spotlight,
representative is very much involved.
I want our viewers to know this.
I want
our viewers. I want all y'all to know that I'm gonna be the guy that is gonna stand up for the rights when they go to having meetings to ban and feed for CWD when it's not really necessary. The guys that, you know, if they're gonna go to putting in regulations, they need to start hearing everybody's voice, and that's one thing I'm passionate about. Is I've never really had a voice, but when you go to reaching 1.5 million viewers a month, or a couple million viewers a month or more per month, you know, they at some point in time, I'm just saying, they're gonna have to listen.
Okay, y'all ready for questions for us to answer questions? I am. Okay, so
one day they're gonna listen to us, y'all. She's trying to cut me off, but
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I promise you, he'll get back up on that soapbox in a minute. It's God's grocery store. Yes, this is our grocery store.
it is, and we have to be sensible with it. But there's a lot explained in today's video on God's grocery store by Mr. Jimmy. Us fishing, you have to realize the resource he's commercial fishing, he's fishing in a spot that will supply that indefinitely. Like, short of a natural disaster of some sort that leaks all the oceans dry, like, that supply of fish is there from now on. It's been there for years. Those fish, if he goes to seeing, like he said in the video, if he goes to seeing that supply of fish like dwindling or something happens, then he won't fish there no more. You know, he'll go somewhere else.
Okay.
But that's just the way it is, you know.
Okay, so I didn't catch.
I was gonna say this. Give me 1 second. I was gonna say this. Louisiana. You know, we're fishing. We get the comments all the time. Oh my, you kept a big flathead. You kept 12 flatheads last night. My goodness gracious, killing all the fish in the river. We're fishing a span of the Ouachita River that is right at 90. I think it's 88 point something miles from one locking dam to another. So all those fish right at 90 miles. Last night we fished about a mile stretch and we put out 15 hooks. We are not killing all the fish in the river. I promise y'all. You know, it's about knowing how to catch these fish. Perfect example. Don't know the fella. Not a big deal. Not even sure if he's telling me the truth. Probably was. Said they've been bait pole fishing and limb lines every night. Been catching 3-4 fish a night. They're happy with that. Tickled, you know, catching fish like we're catching 3-4 flatheads a night. Honestly, I thought that's what we would catch. But I spent a little more time looking at where I'm putting that next hook. And I'm picking, I'm not bragging on me, but it's, if you're, it's not luck after a while. If you go, last year, perfect example, Keith and Tara come up, we did this, we shot a video with them, bank pole fishing, caught 12 flatheads that night. Real similar night last night. Same thing. I think last year we had 16 hooks out. Put 15 hooks out last night, caught 12 flatheads and 5 blues. plenty of fish. Look, we had a 150 quart ice chest slam full and a 70 quart with ice in them, you know, almost full, half full. If we'd have kept all the blues,
All of our fish is iced.
we threw 4 blues back. We wasn't going to eat them. Don't beat us up. We get the comments, why'd you throw those back? They're good eating fish. Yeah, they are good eating fish. We wasn't going to eat them. We're going to eat the flatheads. So we kept the flatheads. We don't waste the fish. But there's plenty of fish out there for everybody. I promise y'all. Pulled up, talked to the fella. They had some bank poles. I said, look, y'all ain't got to worry about us tonight. Assure you we're not checking y'all's limbs, nothing like that. Like, I'm just looking for spots to put some hooks out. He said, oh, y'all put them out wherever y'all want. Don't bother, you know, ain't bothering us. That's the way it's supposed to be right there. You know, work with whoever's out there and go and fish and have a good time, and that's exactly what we did. I'm not done. I still got fish to dress. I was just kind of regrouping. I don't like to, it's hot
Thanks,
out here.
Willie.
I like to get them fish on ice.
Okay, so we'll get back to y'all's questions. Let's see. So Crunchy Cracker wants to know, what is y'all's personal best catfish? Mine would have to be my personal best would probably have to be whenever I was hand fishing. And somebody asked us if we hand fish. We used to. We thought about doing it again, but y'all.
So many people on the lake doing it.
But my personal opinion about, and I kind of stick my head in the camera. My personal opinion about that is that it's fun, but the older that I get, you never know what's down there in those holes, and you're sticking your hand down there. Back in the day, whenever we were doing it, I didn't really care. So now it's like I like my limbs, is what I keep telling people. So.
And I'll tell y'all this too,
I pulled big catfish out of them holes, and it's a thrill. But
I'll tell y'all this. I'll tell y'all this too. We out there fishing, right? Hoop net fishing. I put hoop nets in Darbone this year. Fished a couple weeks over there because I couldn't get to the river. We fished.
So what is your personal best on a catfish?
Oh, 50. We caught a couple over 50. 51 and a 52. I know were recorded. Caught 2 46-pounders this year. So what I was going to say about the fishing, we fished Darbone a little bit. We've always net fished it. The channel cats are so populated you'll never hurt them. Flatheads, probably a little different story. You know, these flatheads are being caught. They're being hoop net fished the last few years. They got hoop net fished pretty heavy. I'm not here to say that Darbone's hurting for population on catfish, but it'll kind of come and go. It'll take care of itself. The last 2 years in a row we fished Darbone, didn't catch a lot of fish in our hoop nets. I know there was people that was just hammering them, bank noodling, hand grabbing. I'm not mad at those people. I used to do the same thing. But that said, you know, there's some people like guiding trips and stuff like that. I don't know what'll happen to those fish populations long term if you're out there every day doing that stuff. That's something that may end up kind of getting washed before it's over with. What I can say is, you know, to the people out there doing that, that may be one of them deals where eventually, if you don't hook or tear some of them fish, you might have to start turning some of them fish loose, or you might not keep catching them. But that said, if you quit catching them, guess what's going to happen? People are going to back off of doing that. Same way with the nets, just like us. If we're not catching fish over there, we're probably not going to fish there.
Well, it's just like
the next
this
few
year
years. You know,
on buffalo. We had a tough
buffalo
year.
are plenty populated. We just didn't hit the buffalo this year.
We didn't hit them this year. I know that before people were, because we were catching them like crazy. We love buffalo.
And the net fishing in the lakes like that too. Some years you hit them, some years you don't. We knew that. We caught a few fish over there this year. Didn't catch any big ones. It was a tough year over there this year for us.
Sorry, y'all, that we're kind of off the comments, but we'll get back on them.
Go ahead.
We
let's
had
catch up.
one that said, get them fish on ice. It's too hot. They're
It is
on
too hot.
ice, and he's filleting just as fast
Oh,
as he
these
can.
things are cold, y'all.
Yeah, they're ice cold. So don't think they're hot.
Yeah, I'm taking them out of ice and then putting them, the fillets, once I wash them, before I cut them up, I put them back on ice.
Yeah.
So we're on ice, y'all.
I think he already answered this question, so I really don't want to get him back on the subject. But he can if he wants to.
What?
Seems flathead are plentiful there. Is that true? So you basically have already answered that one.
Yeah. You know, you got to watch. I mean, look, if you try to fish, there is some flatheads in all these lakes. Go try to catch you a flathead. And I have questions about this. People, I'm start getting texts and stuff. And look, I don't mind the text. I prefer to stick to Facebook Messenger and text. I do get people asking, do you mind me asking? No, I don't mind. What I can say is, eventually it could get overwhelming. We're at 44,000 subs, a little over now. Going to be 45,000 subs here probably in another week or two. By the time we get to like 100,000 subs, I don't know that we'll be able to keep up with all the comments and stuff. Have you answered any of the
I have not, y'all. We
on
came
today's
home.
video?
No.
I ain't answered a single one, and
We
I'm
came
sorry.
home and
I apologize.
yeah, there was a little issue.
What issue? The issue was I was tired and I had to take a nap.
So there was something else going on that
we had company. We had
I
company.
could not answer the comments. 90% of the time, I'm answering y'all's comments.
We're gonna come back. We wanted to do the live. We had to dress the fish. We've been rolling the last 2 days. We've been rolling. We caught a hog this morning. I think you're gonna have to go to.
Thanks, Joel.
Yeah, appreciate you, Joel. He caught us a hog in a hog trap. Got to take Keith and Terry to go see the hog in a hog trap, take it out, and
yeah.
And
Cause
I don't know how much we can talk about on live, but anyways,
they don't see hogs very much, so that was something.
Yeah, we got to see a hog in a trap and all that this morning. So we have caught brim, we've trapped hogs, we've caught channel cats.
Yeah.
We caught blues and flatheads. We have been all over the place the last 3 days. And
Okay, so let's get off the soapboxes. Hello from Arkansas. Hello to Papa in the brown chair. I don't know who, and I even went back in the comments while he was yakking to see who Papa in the brown chair.
Speaking of that, if y'all are new to the channel, let us know. If you subscribe on this live, let us know you subscribe. You found us on this live. If you found us on a video, a short, how you found the channel. If you're new to the channel in the last week, 2 weeks, y'all let us know how y'all found the channel. That helps us, gives us direction. If we're getting new people in on these lives, 15, 20 a live, guess what? We'll do more lives. So that's kind of what we're trying to figure out. If we go to seeing our numbers on our lives, how many have we been up to?
I don't know. You've been.
Anybody got a clue how many we've been up to?
Well, Crunchy's been keeping up for us, so right
138
now.
right now.
We're up to 138 now, but it's gone even more than that.
Yeah, I mean, if we go to hitting 150, 200
well,
on
already
these.
hit that.
150?
Yeah.
So yeah, we go to hitting 150, 200 on all of these lives. We're gonna make it more. It gives us a little incentive to do a few more lives. Now the last 2 weeks
has been busy.
Been so crazy. We've been we got our jobs.
We both have full-time jobs.
I had to run down there to shoot the video with Mr. Jimmy that dropped this morning. The week before we went to South Louisiana. I haven't dropped that video yet. Y'all see some of that on Adam's Redline Outdoors and Keith and Terry's channel, That Louisiana Life.
Yeah, somebody already commented about that, said they enjoyed it with you, Adam, Keith, and Drake.
We'll have a version of that trip. I've got that on film. Gonna be a week or two before we drop. We don't like to drop the same trip. If several of us are filming, we'll wait a few weeks before I drop my video on that.
Okay, so
we've been on the road. And then this weekend's been crazy. We hadn't stopped today, y'all.
And that person commented again about but I think we already answered it. Our fish are ice cold right now. Ice cold.
Oh, the other thing hot. On today's video, you know how many views it's pulled? Can you check?
Yeah, but
This video is our best performing video out the gate.
we've had several comments about this video.
Thanks to Mr. Jimmy. Don't see a whole lot of negative. We didn't really know how all the audience would take the video. Mostly been positive comments on this video.
We're up to 25.
25,000 views.
Yeah.
I know the most I've ever seen by the time we went to bed, and it's just now getting dark. I think it was around 14, and I'm talking 10, 11 o'clock Sunday night when we released that morning was around 14,000. And we've got 25,000 views on this video. So I want to give a special thanks right now, and I will come in the comments. Thank everybody for supporting that video. We have a lot of support with this video from Mr. Jimmy Hickman. He don't do a lot of social media. He don't have time to, but he does like his Facebook deal. Y'all go check him out on Facebook. Search Jimmy Hickman. Maybe in my friends list. Do y'all's thing however y'all can find him. Y'all send him a friend's request. I want him to know. Y'all tell him on there, hey, found you on Bradley and Danielle's channel, God's Country Hunting and Fishing. He'll get a kick out of that. Super good guy. We've seen each other's posts on net fishing and stuff like that. We got 2 different things we do. For 2 or 3 years, we've been following each other a little bit. Hadn't really talked much other than a few comments on Facebook. Talked on the phone a week or 2 ago. He's like, come on down, let's do it, you know. And we go down, shoot a video. Obviously, it's going to be a pretty good video for us. Helps grow the channel, helps us on the financial side of YouTube. Everything, all the way around, is going to be a good video for us. I think it fits right in with what we do all the time, too, the hoop net fishing and stuff. So I'm not sure there's anybody out there on YouTube, to be honest about it. There is some other videos. He's been on YouTube a couple times. Y'all see those videos out there.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anybody else out there doing YouTube videos and stuff that's going to go and ask the right questions and get the information out to y'all on what Mr. Jimmy's doing to the extent that I'm going to do. Because I come from that walk of life. Now, I'm going to say this too. Look, I spent the whole day with Mr. Jimmy. I got up. Y'all want to know about what it takes to be, to run a YouTube channel or to make that video happen. I don't feel bad at all if this video blows up, goes viral, whatever. I'll almost think I deserve it, or we deserve it, because we worked hard for that. I had woke up, what was I on, nights? No, I was on days. No, I worked off of nights. No, I worked days the day before. So I had got up at 5:30 or 5:15 the morning before, went to work, got off, went home. We had talked, knew I was going down there to do the net run with him. And I thought, I'll lay down this evening and get me a nap. I was going to have to get up at 12 o'clock, midnight, and start driving to South Louisiana to get to Mr. Jimmy's house. It's a 5-hour drive to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning so we could go, and a lot goes into what he's doing. Takes time, a couple hours to get the boat in the water. Went down there. By the time we dropped off the fish and got to Mr. Jimmy's house, it was 5:30 p.m. I was up 38 hours. I started to stop and get a hotel. Stopped, got me some coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee. It was like,
You made coffee from the house. I showed him how to make coffee from the house. He did that.
Danielle, she was willing to talk to me on the phone, everything else to keep me awake. If I'd have got too sleepy, I'd have pulled over. But after a Mountain Dew and a coffee will work wonders for you. Because that's what I stopped and got, and I was wired up again, ready to roll. So I am a little tired in that video with Mr. Jimmy. I kind of felt bad that may or may not can tell I was about like I am now, a little out of it. But we made it happen, But that's the sacrifices that we kind of make at times. We're pushing ourselves pretty hard to go out and film these videos and stuff. But given that opportunity, I wasn't gonna pass it up. Glad we went and filmed the video. But anyways, y'all give Mr. Jimmy some support over on Facebook. Y'all go friend him over on Facebook, follow him. He's all time willing to answer questions. I see him in the hoop netting forums. There's thousands of people on those pages now. I remember the hoop net forum started like a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, and now most of them are 5, 6, 7, 8,000, 10,000 people on those channels. And people like him and me and other guys, net builders and stuff, are the reasons for that. We want to build a community. That's another reason we want to do this video, Mr. Jimmy and myself, build a community that's going to be like a support behind keeping these things legal. Because if we don't, there's going to be a guy that says, hey, y'all killing all the fish, we got to outlaw this. And when y'all can see on the graph in that video, there is just thousands of catfish right there. And he's got a 4-foot hoop net in one spot. There's so many fish in that body of water right there, you're not catching them all. And there's not very many people going to be willing to go out there and ice down that much fish. So don't worry about the resources. You know, the resources will take care of themselves pretty much. That's a lot of water. Louisiana, I wanted to say this in this Louisiana, I wanted to say it in that video, and I think I failed to get it in there. Louisiana has and I think I'm right about this, 66,000 miles of rivers and streams. I think right at 6 million acres of man-made and natural lakes. And that is not counting the coastal waterways, which is where Mr. Jimmy was fishing. He wasn't fishing in a Louisiana river. He wasn't fishing in a Louisiana lake. He's fishing in a coastal waterway. There is so many fish in that coastal waterway that, you know, you just got to go and find the fish and know what you're doing and catch them, you know. Nothing wrong with that, and I think we shed that light on that. That's the one thing I wanted to do. Now, something else I was going to say.
I got a lot of questions comments and stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about that video, though.
I know, and we're going to get back to that video.
Appreciate all y'all support, either way.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, because we've had quite a few about
I'll
that.
think of what I was wanting to say in a minute, y'all.
We've had quite a few comments about that video. Everybody has enjoyed it. I know we have one comment from Arkansas, I believe, and they enjoyed it because it brought attention to how all the different people that are involved and how it gave jobs from start to end. So, you know, the different people involved in that kind of industry.
What we're wanting to show is you know, we see all the comments like, well, we're in Missouri and our restrictions are this, and I get that. Okay, Missouri don't have the water that we have in Louisiana. And that's what I wanted to touch on, is like, you know, your regulations, that's kind of up to the state's deals to set the regulations. I haven't fished in Texas. I fished once in Missouri. We caught some smallmouth bass. Obviously, that river that we was in didn't have the fish that we have here. There's no way. It was a cold water river, so it had like smallmouth, some kind of little minnows, and some rainbow trout and stuff up on the northern ends of it. Obviously, you can't just go in there and put out gill webbing and hoop nets and stuff and just take out all those fish, you know. There's not even catfish in there. So I get some of those restrictions on certain waterways. And as far as like the Missouri River and places where there's catfish, I know absolutely nothing about those fisheries. And I'm sure that hopefully I do know they catch some big catfish up there. It's Corey and Steph. That guy catches some giants up there. But, you know, I'm sure they restrict that for a reason. Probably not quite as much water as what we got in Louisiana.
Okay.
All right, back to the...
No, Willie, I'm not anti-Bradley soapbox.
How many people? Have I lost people? I probably done lost people. How many people you got on?
Okay, let's see. Hold on, let me get back here.
Y'all don't leave yet. We about to pull the big one out.
I remember you, Edward. That name, that roughneck, that redneck roughneck. Okay, yes, I remember that.
Hey, I thought you was gonna catch up. You ain't even read one yet.
Yeah, because every time I read one.
Well, read them to me.
Okay.
All right, seriously, I'm gonna let's go through them. Let's go through them fast so we can catch up. We're way behind.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
Y'all gotta give him. Get it.
I'm just looking to see how many people we got. Still got 130 something.
Okay.
Then I got one more and then the big one.
Yeah, I knew I saw over 150 at one time. Trying to get back to where I had stopped. I had to wipe my iPad off real quick.
Appreciate everybody sharing that video that shared it too. I've seen a ton of shares on today's video, and that's a perfect example right there. A lot of what success we have is going to depend on y'all. You know, the likes, the shares, the comments, the interaction with the channel. We really appreciate that. We had a ton of Facebook shares. Mr. Jimmy shared it to a bunch. He's got a bunch of followers. A lot of those people shared it. That makes those algorithms do different things, and that's why that video has reached out there and got 25. It's a good video, I think. I think I did pretty good editing and all. Took a little extra time on doing it because it was a special video, and maybe it pays off long term.
We had several comments about the video. That today's video was great. Jimmy is a worker.
Hard worker.
He definitely is. I watched that. I wasn't there, but watching everything that Bradley had, that yes. What do you think about the trap flap for dipping the fish out of the hoop net? Is that something you're considering using for your hoop nets?
No, not really. I don't think I'm considering using that. The only plus that I could use it for is if I wanted to catch enough fish to sell. I could probably do it with my wire nets or do it here. I could fish the same style nets here. There's not a market. I don't, there's a bigger market for fish on the commercial side in South Louisiana. You know, there's a lot of seafood places that do crab and shrimp and oysters and catfish, and those places are set up to distribute that much fish. Our area in North Louisiana, we got little fish markets. We don't have big distribution that ships fish out all over the United States and the world for that matter. So I would have to drive hours to get to a market that would be willing to buy that many fish. You know, the market is supply and demand. If Mr. Jimmy's got like 7 or 8 buyers that buy from him, and sometimes they shut him down. They'll say, hey, I can't take none today, you know. They ain't got nobody to dress the fish or can't distribute it, whatever, and they'll shut him down. So he has to pull up his nets. That happened last week. Nobody wanted to buy fish for the 4th of July week. I guess they're taking off, and this, that, and the other. Couldn't hardly get people to work on those days. It's supply and demand. So there again, he's not just out there catching fish and dumping them or nothing. It's going on the market. It's supply and demand. People eat fish. You farm raise fish. Some of that goes to restaurants. I'm gonna tell y'all. Look, I'm not knocking the fish farmers. I've eaten farm fish a lot. I still do at times in restaurants and stuff. We go out to eat. I'm not saying I'm not gonna eat them. I've eaten some I didn't want to eat. They was too big. They got too fat. They just don't taste the same. You know. So, yeah. I mean that's why people shrimp and crab and oyster. Crab are in high demand right now. There's a ton of commercial crabbers that are putting crab on the market. We got crab from Louisiana, I think, shipping to the East Coast and stuff right now. But there again, you probably got shrimp that's being shipped into the East Coast because why? Because they restrict their fisheries to the extent that they put their shrimpers and stuff out of business. They were trying to do that in North Carolina here a week or two ago, and that was a big ordeal. North Carolina is one of the last states on the East Coast that was pretty open to the shrimp. Don't kill our regulate within reason is my thing. I don't want to get back on that soapbox too much, but I want to see our stuff. I do. I want to see our stuff regulated within reason. Don't put our people out there trying to work hard. Look, the shrimping industry in South Louisiana, and I'm not going to say the name of the group, but y'all know who I'm talking about. They trying to stop everything in the fishing, everything. Recreational, constantly, every year they're trying to push new bills in through legislation because they're wanting, us to keep less. We want to catch and release everything. Redfish, speckled trout. They're constantly, every year or two, you get new regulations on redfish and speckled trout. Heck, in 10 years, you probably won't even be able to keep one. I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't start voting and we don't start letting, it's going to take something like a big YouTube channel or something walking down there winning a meeting saying, look here, I'm just telling y'all straight up. If y'all don't start getting some common sense about some of these regulations and stuff and let people go out and enjoy what resources we have, we're going to vote you out of office, plain and simple. And we'll get somebody in there that'll take a common sense approach to it. Manage, conservation, all of that, but manage within common sense. If you've got resources there, let people go out and fish and keep them some fish. Me personally, on things like speckled trout, redfish, stuff like that, I'm not as worried about a length as I am a limit. So if your limit's 5 fish, let them keep 5 fish. Who cares if they're 16 inches long? No, we got to go to 18 inches. Well, next year it'll be 19. Then the next it'll be 20. I'm telling y'all, like, sooner or later it's going to be like some other states where you can't keep but 2 or 3 fish. Louisiana's going to be the same way, and we got tons of resources. Louisiana is built different. We got a state here that's got so much water. We was on the river today, the Washita River. We covered probably 10 miles today.
Effing move.
We saw one person fishing. One person in 10 miles of the Washita River today fishing. Nobody's hurting that resource, okay? It's hot. People are lazy. They like air conditioning. They're not going fishing. Plain and simple. You only got a few people built the way people like Mr. Jimmy are built. He's a special individual. I'm telling y'all right now, nobody's going out in this heat and shoveling 1,200 pounds of ice in their boat to go out and catch blue cats. Ain't happening. Got very few people willing to go out and do that. So the way I look at it, as long as he's got a resource to go out there and fish, leave that man alone. Let him go work hard if that's what he wants to do. I told him he's crazy because he's gonna hurt his body, and me, I'm the same way. People tell me all the time, man, you gotta get some sleep. It's gonna catch up with you. Yeah, it is. It's gonna catch up with you.
I think if Bradley slows down, that's whenever it's going to catch up with him. He's built like his daddy.
Yeah, but eventually I'm going. I'm 47, and I'm 47, 48, something like that. I don't know how old I am. Quick count.
So, let's get back to our comments, because we got a ways to catch up real quick. So I want to kind of run through them, so let me run through them real quick. So, Edward said, whenever I was driving a truck in the patch, 9 hours sleep in 3 days was a lot. Yeah.
Been there, done that,
Glenn said, just videoing you're doing, not trying to go experiment making content. Yeah, that's something that we had talked about earlier.
What now? I'm not understanding.
Well, this is going back like a couple of hours ago whenever you were talking.
I know, but what is he talking about?
He's talking about just videoing what you're doing.
Talking about how much work it is?
Well, we were talking about this is our everyday life.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
Everything.
I was just trying to get on board what you were saying.
Not trying to experiment making content.
Yeah, I think people do better, even the channels I think they do better when they go do what they normally do. I really do.
Joe said commercial fishing is hard work. Respect to those who do it. It's definitely hard work. Not just the fishing. That's a lot. That's 99% of it. But there's paperwork involved.
Hey, y'all ain't, just stop, because you're going to get me started again.
Let's not get on that one.
I don't mind buying a license. I hate doing paperwork. You know?
Yeah.
If I want to do paperwork, I went to college and sit behind a desk somewhere. I don't want to do paperwork. If you're the Department of Wildlife Fisheries, if you're the commissioners, I don't care about your computer systems. I don't care about keeping up with everything to the extent that I've got to fill out paperwork every month and send it in. So, there. I said it. I'm not staying on that soapbox, but it's stupid. That's why I quit the first time, probably why I'm going to quit the second
And
time.
that's why I told him the first time I wasn't doing it anymore after that. And then he brought it up again to do it, and I was like, oh.
Catching enough fish to hurt the resource. I'm not selling enough fish to hurt the resource. So, yeah, I'm probably done with that. But I understand. I was going to say this a while ago. I understand. You know, we're going down there doing a little shrimping thing now. And, man, I don't, you know, when we were shrimping in the 90s, there was tons of shrimp boats down there working. And now you go to South Louisiana, I'm sure the other states are the same way, and you see parked shrimp boats with no nets, no rigging on them. They're not going and catching shrimp. That's why, you know, we're importing all this.
Have you seen any of our fish have eggs in them? We got asked.
No,
I haven't seen any of our fish have eggs in them.
These catfish here, it's July here.
Yeah.
We're it's July 4th weekend here. Yeah. These fish been spawned out for a month now.
Yeah.
These flatheads, they spawn
no eggs.
into April 1st to May here in North Louisiana. Not sure about other states, you know, what their time period is on spawn. I'm sure it's water temp.
Tom said, and I can't remember where Tom's from, but he said that a lot of the lakes around me is 6 catfish limit.
That must be,
I can't remember, because Tom, you commented before.
I know some of the northern lakes are like little, small, like homemade lakes. You know, that may be within reason of their fish populations. I can't really, we're fortunate in Louisiana. You know, we really are. I wish our people would take better care of the state as far as the regulations. Quit being crooked. Quit trying to take everybody's money through taxation. All that stuff. Quit trying to pad your pockets.
I'm just now getting some of the comments, like dealing with being invited to go golfing, and there was one comment that said he wears short shorts golfing. Bradley hasn't been golfing in a long time.
20 years.
Yeah.
That was back in my younger days.
Well, we were married, and him and his buddies started golfing, and it didn't last very long for Bradley. It's not fishing or hunting.
Ain't my cup of tea, y'all. I liked it. I had fun.
Then Caitlin started it for a little bit.
I used to play sports and everything else, y'all. I was a baseball player.
Let's see. Hey from Mississippi. Yes, Willie. Every time he gets on his soapbox, I'm going to peek my head around and sit there and say that. But no, it's something that if that's how we can use our social media, then
one final look at that one.
Okay, so do we bow fish any? We haven't bow fished in quite a while. We actually went and got our bows, bow fishing bows reworked on and everything, and got them lined out. So we're thinking about heading back out. I'm not anti-soapbox.
Trying to see what we got here on the picture.
He just has squirrel moments. And then, let's see. Hi, love the show. Thank you, Taylor. Welcome aboard. I'm watching videos from people that haven't had channels as long as I quit making videos. Wait. I'm watching videos from people that haven't had channels as long as I've quit making videos. Then okay. Glenn, I have a lot to say about the abundance of river holes, but no way I would text that much.
Do what?
I have a lot to say about the abundance of river holes, but no way I would text that much.
Could text that much.
That's what I said.
Glenn said that?
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's talking about no way I could text that much.
That means he's a lot. He's got a lot he could say, but...
Okay. No, I'm with you now. I'm a little slow right now, Glenn. Sorry, buddy.
He's always slow. Y'all don't let him talk about how...
Really slow right now.
He's all the time whining about how he has no sleep. It's a personal decision. It's a personal choice. Okay. Every state needs someone to be the face for the people. Sounds like Louisiana has one with Bradley. Even if you don't want to hear his opinion, you're going to hear it.
Yeah, I mean...
But it's all good.
Who knows? Eventually,
so, it's the haters and the trolls.
Maybe that's in here.
Can you show the squirrel cleaner? Oh, gosh.
Don't let me forget that.
Can you show the squirrel cleaner you have there? Where do we see that? Oh, over there?
Yeah.
Oh. People who don't know how many fish are in the river system will never be convinced. That's true. Uh-oh, I hit the wrong thing. Okay.
There, so they can't say I didn't take the cheat meat out.
And if you know Bradley, he's being sarcastic.
See, I'm conformed to y'all's comments. They whipped me down about the cheat meat, so I started just taking it out.
Let's see. Where are those blue cats Mr. Jimmy was catching? I was amazed that there were only one species in that hoot net.
Yeah,
Where?
Because like he said, he's only targeting one species. He don't want a flathead. If he catches a flathead, the blues won't go in the net then. So let's just say, that's what he said in the video, that's what he was trying to explain. Flatheads and blues don't mix, right? They don't like each other. Flatheads eat blues. We've caught them this size with 5-pound blues in their stomach. So if this flathead goes in a net, what he was saying in his video, even with the bait in it and everything, the blues won't go in his net. So he just lost revenue. He dumping $100 worth of bait in that net. One of these goes in. If he sells this fish, he can't get but, I don't know what it, probably $20 for this fish in the rough. And he just went $80 in the hole. So that's why he had a little sarcastic comment about not liking flatheads. He's messing with me is what he's doing, y'all, in that video. Because he knows we like to catch flatheads. But there's truth to that. He's targeting blue cats. That's what he's making his money on. He can't make any money right there in that body of water catching flatheads.
So a side note, Bradley doesn't use his electric fillet knife all the time.
And there again, that's another thing. Like, people are asking, like, hey, why don't you bait? Why don't you put cheese in your nets and stuff like that? Well, that's why. Because we're trying to catch a flathead. We're not trying to fish for a living. It's more like a sport deal for us almost. We like to run the hoot nets. It's fun for us. That's the way we grew up. We like to see that water bust with that big flathead in there when you pull that net up, or the limb line, or bank pole. That's just what drives me. So by saying that, if we put cheese in that net, we're gonna catch a bunch of blue cats. We might not catch the flatheads. So we don't have to bait for the flatheads. We just got to put the net in the right spot. Kind of like earlier in the live when I said you got to set the coon trap in the right spot if you want to catch raccoons. Same way with a catfish. If you're going to catch them, you got to put that net in the right spot. No matter what kind of fish you're trying to catch. Bank poles, swim lines, Rod and reel, it don't matter. You cannot catch them if you're not where the fish are. Ain't gonna ever happen. And that's the number one thing. And that's what Mr. Jimmy talked about in today's video on the graph, you know. Look, when I showed up to his house, one of the first things went in his truck was an orange, like one of those Filleting cases. I didn't know what he had in it. He had his graph in there. That's his livelihood. That's what he's. If somebody, wherever his boat's sitting, right? We went somewhere else and got his boat. Lives in the neighborhood. Got a big boat. Got to park it somewhere, right? If somebody stole his graph, then he wouldn't know where any of his hook nets was. He had all that stuff marked. All his information is on. That's like us carrying our cell phones and stuff. You know, all our stuff's on it. Same way for a fisherman, he's got his graph, he's got all of his information right there. So keep that in mind, you know. And he's right, and I don't do.
This weighed 46 pounds.
46 pounds. I don't do near enough. I catch plenty of fish, like it is, just going off of, you know, just look. All these waters I fish right here, I fished for 45 years with Dad and my papa and my uncles. I've learned where these fish are from time to time. He's right. I catch them on runs when they're running. These flatheads, I already knew where to go. When we started bank pole fishing, we kind of got an idea where these fish are. So if you don't know where the fish are and you go into a new body of water, you better get you a graph and learn how to use the thing. And I'm not good about that. Went years without one. We did use them a lot on the shrimp boats. But you know, you got state-of-the-art stuff out there now that pretty much you can look at, you can learn what kind of fish you're looking at. You got live scope and everything else out there now. And if you got the money, you can buy it. He don't have nothing that expensive. He got a cheaper unit, you know, but he's got what he can see those fish in. And he can tell, you know, hey, there's my fish right there. I need to put my net right here. And he'll set his net up and he catches them.
We dodged the storm.
What I miss on the...
You've missed a lot.
I know. I'm so far behind on the...
I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all bear with us. Y'all have been great. Y'all just roll with the punches, and so we're good. So we're just going with it. You mind?
I was seeing how... I'm not reading. I'm just seeing how many people...
It doesn't matter if we have one person. If we have Mr. Bill in there, and that's the only person we'll talk. Right, we will.
We know Mr. Bill's going to be there.
That's what I told him. He was the first person in there, and I was like, knew it.
Mr. Bill, is he still on there?
Absolutely.
Mr. Bill, I'm going to tell you now.
He harvested his first bell pepper of the year today.
Mr. Bill, I'm going to tell you now, you're like a celebrity with a YouTube channel.
We talked about you this weekend with Keith and Tara.
When Keith and Tara and Danielle and Bradley sit down at the table to eat, and they're talking about Mr. Bill, you know you're well appreciated.
Absolutely.
So, hope that makes your day.
We have two Mr. Bills. One is in our YouTube videos. He is a Vietnam War veteran, and he is our coach, and absolutely adore Mr. Bill from Arkansas.
And to be honest about it, Mr. Bill, you was brought up by Keith and Tara. So.
Well, we had said something, and first thing Keith said was Mr. Bill, and I said, "Yep, it's Mr. Bill."
We were talking about going live and comments and everything.
Yep.
And
and that's what he said, because that's what Keith said. I bet you're talking about. He was
saying, I don't remember what the comment was. He was talking about him commenting on one of their videos that he'd been in there.
It's a blessing to have you, Mr. Bill.
Nothing but good things, much appreciated from them and us, to be honest about it.
So I'm going to scroll down the comments, and I'm going to start at the most recent that I see, you know, from what I'm seeing on here. So if I definitely missed your comment from previously, if I never get to it, y'all definitely put it back in there. I promise you, we will try our best to answer it. Okay, how do you pick a place to fish when you have a fish when you have to fish from the bank. So are you talking about bank fishing or bank pole? Like the bank poles?
You know, if I got a fish from the bank, perfect example of that, this weekend, y'all won't see that or notice that in the video. We're fishing right here on the creek at the house. I've fished it my whole life. Grew up on this creek.
So when we fished for our anniversary.
Where we're fishing, shoot a lot of our videos back here. Thanks to Mr. Joel for letting us fish some on this place. But anyways, perfect example where I normally catch my brim at. There wasn't none there. We had to move. So from the bank, you know, if I'm throwing there looking for that, I'm looking for a depth, one thing. I try a little bit deeper, try a little bit shallower. Couldn't really find them. Started throwing a little bit further over. You know, from day to day, depending on the water level, depending on what's under the water, if there's current in a creek and there's current in this one a little bit, those fish move, right? Because the current's changed. It's a little more current over here, so those fish were congregated in different spots. And if you want to catch them, and you're not catching them, a lot of times you gotta just move. And that's what I'm doing. I got no electronics. I'm not looking under the water, but I do pay attention. Now, if I go to see them brim popping somewhere, something like that, moving in the water, movement, chase, or you go see them grass shrimp jumping, stuff like that. There's something there chasing them. There's crappie, there's bass, catfish, brim. Most of the time, it's either crappie or brim chasing those grass shrimp. So I'll start fishing that spot, and a lot of times you'll start catching some big bluegills or some big pumpkin seed brim or something like that. But I'm just moving, you know, till we find them, and then we'll sit there and
a lot. We didn't get in our kayaks this go around. That's
gonna be bank fishing, cooking, hanging out with good friends. The watermelon probably saved my life, to be honest about it. It was so hot.
Falling in the water.
Yeah. I can tell y'all.
I had that on video.
I can tell y'all. This is going to be a good one. And that's going to be Keith and Tara's video. You're going to have to go over to their channel to watch it.
Yeah.
But y'all probably see some shorts. I'm sure somebody's going to make fun of me in some shorts. But sometimes I do some stupid stuff.
Because for the ones that have always been part of our YouTube, y'all know Bradley doesn't hold back on me on different shorts. I can't hold back on him. I keep it really, really real.
I was probably asking for it. I'm not going to tell y'all all the surprises. Y'all going to have to come.
What did we do with the arrowheads with them?
I got them put up in the house with some more artifacts that we found over the years. Y'all probably had to check out Bayou Bell Outdoors. Subscribe, hit the bell over there. So if Danielle drops some stuff, sometimes she throws some little hints and stuff out there for like upcoming videos and stuff like that on her channel. We don't spend a lot of time on her channel, building that channel.
I do it like my Blackstone cooking. Like if I'm out there cooking on my Blackstone, I'll do a little bit on that. But our main focus, my intentions, and I know Bradley's intentions, is never to like use we
don't want to take away from this channel.
Yeah.
Neither one of us. And that's not what we're trying to do. I wanted her to get her channel started. One, it helps her learn how to edit and do the things because I do a lot of the editing and stuff. But
I do a lot of
questions. Something ever happens to me, she'll have her YouTube channel.
What's gonna happen to him? It'll be fine. Okay, so love y'all's comment. I like how y'all incorporate other YouTube channels into y'all's videos. So awesome how y'all meet people and make new friends. Y'all are living the version of American Dream. We actually have several YouTube families, YouTube channels, however you want to put it. That there's Adam, there's Glenn, there's Keith and Tara. There's several people that we communicate with that. Hey, definitely go hit them up.
Me and Danielle's always had a small circle, right? We get in contact sometimes. A lot of people comment on the videos. We had comments today I seen. Sure would like to go fishing with y'all. Well, you know, I'm just being honest. Like, we're on film and we've gotten a little comfortable on film, probably too comfortable. We're still not comfortable too much in public and stuff. We're kind of private individuals, to be honest about it. It doesn't seem that way because we're on YouTube. But I do tell people, like, in the end, and if you see us out, say something to us. Like, you know, we don't have a problem talking to people, something like that. We don't really think of ourselves as being, like, in the public light too much. Because day to day, we're just doing our thing. We're out there doing our thing, kind of getting our zone. I do. And,
Cole, you trying to get another soapbox going, aren't you?
No, I'm just letting them know that.
No, not what you're talking about. I see your comment.
No.
No, I haven't even read his comment.
What are you talking
Okay, so let me, before I read your comment, Paul, let me go back and Paul. He's from Sterlington. He's local.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, before I get to yours, because I know that's going to start another subject, let me quickly kind of skim through. He even made a laughing face because he knows, you know. Willie knows. The ones that are on here know. Okay, so let's real quick. I see some people are talking.
Real quick, what? You ain't doing nothing real quick.
The carcass, we talked about that earlier. We put them in our pond, or, you know, some people talk about putting them, that game wardens recommend putting them back out in the water, not at the bank. Put them out in the water.
Also, I recommend pop the air bladder. You know, I went on the lake where commercial fishermen or somebody was dressing a lot of fish, dump all of them back in there because they just cut the fillet off and every one of them's going to float. Don't do that. People ask us all the time, why am I making that little cut in the side, right? Making that little cut because I don't want that fish to float. Pop the air bladders. Pop that air bladder good.
Yeah.
The fish will sink. Everybody's happy, right? The crawfish are happy. The fish and all the little stuff in the water that eats the turtles are tickled to death. Our turtles are fat and sassy, I promise you.
The fish we had hanging up just a minute ago, the flathead we had hanging up, it weighed 46 pounds.
46 pounds.
Yes. I'm trying to skim back over just because I know once I tell him this.
We get lots of comments and questions. Man, why are you keeping a fish that big? Well, I'll show you in just a minute. We're going to go over some of that.
The size of the fish. I remember seeing this in there. I can't remember who asked it, but somebody in the comments asked, does the size change the taste of the fish? I know Bradley, he'll get more in depth on this. My opinion is, depending on who cleans it.
It can. It can. It can change the size of the fish. A flathead this big. I don't really like to keep blues much over about 15 pounds myself because they're going to be fat, or they're either poor. They're a male that's poor. He's spawned and he lost a lot of fat. He's not healthy. The fat fish are going to taste better, but if they get too fat, it's not going to taste good. Flatheads do get fat, but the fat is trimmable. The fat is not really in the meat, so to speak. So that's why big flatheads are still good to eat. There is nothing wrong whatsoever. We will eat every bit of this flathead meat off the dude. Alright, you gotta trim it. We do all this in our video. Some of our most popular videos are our fish cleaning videos. So, y'all seeing this one right here? One thing I'm going to do right here is I'm not going to push. Y'all can see right here, y'all see that red? I'm going to attempt to not push down so far close to the skin because next to the skin there's a lot of fat red meat on this particular fish. I'm going to try to kind of lightly, I'll probably still have to trim some of it, but I'm kind of trying to run that fillet knife lightly and not get all that on my fillet.
Is there a flathead that is too big to keep?
See that? Hopefully y'all can see that in the light. Y'all see all that? So by running that fillet knife a little bit lighter, I just took a lot of that red meat off of this fillet. You can trim it out later. I've still got some on it. Y'all can see I left some on it, but look up here, I got all of it off of it. So that's what you want to do on this flathead. On a big one like this, 46 pounder. Still a lot of meat here. I mean, my goodness, me, Danielle, and Dylan, that's probably 10 meals right there. Good eating. I can freeze this. This is good 6-8 months, no problem in our freezer the way we freeze it. But you got to fix it right. And I'm gonna tell you this too: if you think you're gonna freeze it,
Bye, Crunchy.
if you think you get in bed, you got to go to school. No, you ain't got school. It's summertime.
School. It's summertime.
It probably is bedtime. Oh, if you're gonna freeze this, you don't want to freeze it with the red meat on it. Get your red meat off before you freeze it. If you don't, it's gonna get funky quicker in the freezer. It won't last as long in the freezer.
So a flathead, is there too big of a flathead to keep?
Like I said earlier, you asked how big a fish we caught. Biggest flathead I've ever caught is 52 pounds. I've never caught one that was too big to eat. The guys I know that's caught them up to 70 plus pounds, they ate them. You know, that fish is probably not going to live too much longer. I don't really know the lifespan on them. Might live longer, I don't really know. But, I mean, it's all about what somebody wants to do. Look, if you caught this fish and want to release it, release it. That's a lot of meat on this fish. Look at that. Like, we're fishing for meat. This is, I don't want to change up what we do, go catch and release all the time. Just, we do release some fish. We released 4 last night.
Okay, to the question, Paul.
What? Am I cutting everybody off?
No, I've answered some questions before I went to this one that he asked. Stay over there, babe.
I'm not looking at the question. I done told you. All I'm looking at is how many
not accurate.
people is on.
That's not accurate. We'll have to look at that one over there. Okay, so Paul asked, what do you think about the crappie limits on Darbone? At this note, I'm taking a break.
Come on, man.
He even put a smiley face. But we all know
the thing is, the crappie limit's still 50. You can still keep 50. So what have you really changed? You know, look. Let me tell you what was said. And I don't care. Y'all can get mad at me. They can get mad at me. I don't care. I just say it like it is. Some of the very people that wanted to go to this type of a regulation on their bone said, oh, let's throw the bigger ones back. I like to eat the small ones anyways. What? Like, okay. That's true. They are better eating. You can still keep 43 under 12 inches long. And those under 12 inches long are better eating, no doubt. Hands down. I agree 100%. But if a guy goes out there and don't catch nothing but 15 or 20 fish over 12 inches long, I'm not keeping that guy from taking those fish, cooking them for supper. What if he's got friends and family coming over? He's got to go fish 3 or 4 days if he's on big fish just to catch enough to have a fish fry. You know, y'all don't keep me started on that. I will tell y'all this. The state representative I talked to for the state of Louisiana was involved in the regulation changes that come on Darbone. And I was very upfront and forward with him about, wasn't mad at him, you know. Look, them guys, all they got to go by is what they're told. And I'll tell y'all this is how the system works. And this is going to make a lot of people on this. I wish people wouldn't get off. I wish y'all listen to what I've got on this one. Y'all going to get upset about this. You're not going to get upset at me, but you're going to get upset with how the system works. Exact words he told me. It's the state representative here in the state of Louisiana. He said, well, I was told, that's the first thing right there. You're sitting down with 3, 4 people, 5 people in a room discussing how you're going to regulate crappie on a lake that's very plentiful with crappie in North Louisiana that your limit's 50 on. It's been 50 for years. LiveScope's been out now for, what, how many years? 6, 7, 8 years, something like that, 9, 10 years. LiveScope's been out. still plenty of crappie in all the lakes. You're never gonna catch all of them. Ain't happening. Kind of takes care of itself. People quit catching, they go to the house. They're not gonna go out there and fish. So guess what happens while they're at the house, sitting in the air conditioning? The fish are making babies. They don't quit doing what they do. That's the way the system works. It'll take care of itself. What he told me was they was told when they were brought in and people talked to them, they told them, said, there's plenty of nutrients in the lake, but the fish don't grow fast. So we need to throw more big fish back so they get bigger, so we'll have bigger weights in the crappie tournament. Okay. So that's how that regulation come to play. All right. What's wrong with what I just said? I know y'all may not have caught it, but I'll say it one more time. They told him there's plenty of, it's what I was told now. I wasn't there, I didn't hear it. It's what I was told. I was told that they told him there was plenty of nutrients in the lake, but it takes the fish longer to get big in that lake than any other lake. So if there's plenty of shad, and I can test for there's plenty of shad because we see them. If there's plenty of shad and plenty of nutrients, how does the fish grow slow? That don't make no sense. And that's what I was talking about earlier in this live about if we're going to manage and do conservation and wildlife and things like that, let's manage from a common sense standpoint, not, what somebody thinks. Especially not what one person thinks. And if you are going to talk to somebody about what the fish are doing in a body of water, y'all know who I'm going to probably go talk to? Probably that guy that was in that video this morning, Mr. Jimmy Hickman, who knows more about catfish than probably anybody in the state of Louisiana or in the United States for that matter. That's the kind of person I'm going to go talk to about what our fish populations look like, where the fish are, what their habits are, how to catch them. Look, if I rode with him last week to put his hoop nets out, and I'm going to tell you this, the biggest thing I took away from that trip was there was people everywhere fishing, and I didn't see any of them catch any fish. So if y'all look at today's video, y'all go back and look, we showed a clip of the graph. It was 50-something foot of water. All of the blue cats, and they were fishing for blue cats. They were tight lining for blue cats with weights on bottom. All of the blue cats, literally every one of them was 22 to 30 foot off the bottom. They were not on the bottom. All the fish were suspended up in the water column. So if 100% of those fish are suspended in the water column, and you're chunking your lead weight down there on the bottom, guess what? Not catching no fish. And then they see this guy pull up in a boat, and he's putting thousands of pounds of fish in the boat. This guy's killing all the fish. I can't catch a fish. Need to outlaw hoop net. No, you need to get a graph, figure out where the fish are, and learn how to fish. So I'm just being honest here, guys. That's the way it works. Most of the time, people are not fishing where the fish are.
A lot of people agree with you.
So
Paul agrees with you.
the deal, Paul, on the regulations. That's how the regulations.
He agreed with you 100%. He just.
That's
he's
how the
like,
regulations
really?
got passed. They got passed by. Look, if you want to change a law in the state of Louisiana, you got to go through.
We will meet you, Paul.
The Wildlife and Fisheries, the commissioners who are appointed by the governor, right? And it don't change when you get a new governor either. So it doesn't matter really if we elect a Democrat or Republican governor. You still got the same commissioners that were appointed. And if you look at our commissioners in the state of Louisiana, I don't know those guys personally. I don't know any of them, not a one. I can tell you all of them are part of special interest groups, and most of them are either a business owner, maybe a lawyer, I mean, they're all like very high income people, pretty much. Most of them are. I'm not sure all of them are. All of them have you can go on the Louisiana Department of Wildlife Fisheries and look. Got their information on there. I don't know, I'd like to sit down and have a conversation with those guys one day, probably. It might happen, who knows.
We'll have coffee.
But yeah,
Or
and
adult beverage.
I'm not against them. Look, I don't want that job. I don't want to do that. They probably don't even get paid
That's how
nothing.
Mr. Bill puts it.
But most of them have a special interest, and that's where you can have a slippery slope. You know, I've got a lot of interest, a ton of interest in what goes on in the state of Louisiana. Probably to the extent that I should probably be willing to sit on one of those committees. But you know, going to those meetings and doing all that, like that stuff gets pretty hard too. But that's who votes to put stuff in on wildlife and fisheries, and then it goes to legislation. Well, those guys, you know, they all mingle, like they know the legislators. If they say, hey, this is what we want to do, we'd like to take a vote on this, pass, put it into law. The legislators are probably going to say, oh, well, who come up with this? Oh, well, we talked to our biologist up there, that's what he recommended. All right, done. It's a law. Well, now you've taken probably less than 10 people from the start of an idea to put it into law, writing it on the books. You're taking 10, 15 people out of the state of Louisiana are involved in this. You got one biologist, 3 or 4 anglers, less than 5 anglers. We'll say 5 anglers, 1 biologist, maybe a lake commission. We'll add them in there. That's 6 people. So let's say we got 11 people, and then the commissioners is 7 or 8 of them. So let's say we got, either way, we'll give them benefit of the doubt. 25 people involved in making it a law, a new law that's going to affect, I don't even know how many million people in the state of Louisiana that might fish or whatever. I don't know how, there's hundreds of thousands of licenses sold in Louisiana. So you got a very small amount of people, and the real small group is the group that gets the ball rolling. We talked about the mega ramp that's coming to Darbone. There's been studies done. That was part of the conversation. I didn't tell y'all that. They're looking at putting a mega ramp in on Darbone. Could be a good thing if it's used for the right purposes. The one thing, I'll tell y'all this, I'm not bragging, I'm just telling y'all what the conversation was about. What I told him, because I was asked about this on the phone about the mega ramp and everything, and I told him, I said, I want you to do something, man. I said, look, you know, you don't even know this, but I voted for you in hopes that we get some things right. I said, I'm only 1 vote, but I said, you know, I feel like our viewer base is going to be quite a few votes.
Your vote counts.
Go and vote. I'm going to say that. But I told him, I said, here's the thing I want y'all to do. If y'all put that mega ramp in, I want y'all to realize that there's a lot of guys in the tournament world going to love this mega ramp, because it's going to be a big, nice ramp, like a $6 million project. Plenty of places to park, set your booths up, go out there and take pictures. And that's great, right? It's going to bring tourism into the town, tournaments, going out to eat, spending a little money here and there, helping local businesses. That's what the whole purpose of this is, to help the local economy, Lake Darbone. All right? Great. Fantastic. Let's do it. Once we get it done, we're going to have a tournament every week, 2 or 3 on Darbone. Everybody that fishes Darbone knows that. We have several tournaments a week on this lake. Most of them are local tournaments, y'all. You know, there's, I think, 1 or 2 local tournaments a week on that lake year round. So you got 30, 40, I don't know, maybe more, 50 bass anglers out there. Guess what they're doing? Support a local economy, right? But we're going to have 1 or 2 major events. Maybe, I don't know, some bass trail come in, bring a couple hundred people, maybe 100 people. I know for the crappie world, I was involved in it a little bit, and I think the most people we seen was, I want to say, for a national championship, you're looking at 150 people coming in. Seems like, I know maybe 80 boats, 80, 90, 100 boats. I don't know. If you ever had 150, that'd be a lot. I think maybe there was something like that at one time for like a national championship. All right, that's a one a year deal, or 1 every 4 or 5 years, maybe something like that happens on Darbone. Some of these other trails, smaller. The tournament world's gotten smaller, I think, in the last few years. Some things hurt in those worlds. Anyways, I told him, I said, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Don't forget those guys that's going out there every day of the week and fishing. The locals, the guys that live here, the guys that live on the lake. That's your guys driving your economy. A lot of those guys from out of town, I'm not knocking them. I'm not, and I'm not taking away from us doing that. And it's good for everybody. Good deal. Here's the thing, though. Those guys bring their equipment with them. They're not coming in town and buying all their stuff here. They're not going and buying their baits. They're not going and buying their rods and reels and tackle here. They have it in their boat when they come here, I promise you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you might have a hotel, Airbnb, food, fuel. You got some of that stuff, but they're not driving all the local economies, like the bait shops and stuff. We got one bait shop now in farm. We've had two before, several times over the years. We got one now. Two.
They are amazing.
I think Darbone Cooters and Darbone Marine sell some baits and stuff now too. I forgot about them. Yeah, they got some baits and stuff. I need to go in and check that out, by the way. See what all they got.
Cooters has been around forever.
But anyways, those guys are important too. So he told me this. He said, well, they had a study done to see. Of course they got to see, is it going to pay back, pay for itself. They had a study done, and they come in and they told them if they never, this is what I was told, if they never had another tournament on Darbone, and they put this mega ramp in, that it would return and pay for itself in 4 years' time. So there you go. That's not counting tournaments. It would pay for itself in 4 years. So with tournaments, it might pay for itself in 2.5, 3 years. So there's room for all of us out there. If I go put my wire net over there in the lake, trot line, whatever. Look, I heard a comment the other day. I seen a post on Facebook. Not going to say who it was. Some of y'all are going to know who it was. He said something about a trot line disaster. And I hate trot lines. Wish they would outlaw them. If I ever have a chance, I'm going to help them get outlawed.
That's not your opinion.
That's not my opinion. That was an angler. That's very popular, big time angler in the fishing industry. Made that comment on Facebook. I read the comment myself. I'm gonna just say it. That's a piss poor comment. And that right there alone, I know he was joking. I'm sure he was joking. I guess he was joking. I don't know. I hope he was joking. That's not the kind of comment we want to make, because I'm not, I don't go in bass fish tournaments, but I'm not against bass fishing tournaments.
He ain't against ditch pickles.
I like those guys bass fishing tournaments, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because they're not catching my catfish, right? So that's the way you kind of got to look at that. Support, all the fishermen should support the rights of all fishermen in all methods of fishing, instead of trying to worry about the other guy getting everything outlawed.
You ready for another comment?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great.
I hope we got some Ziploc bags.
Edward, I'm just looking at these bank poles. I can set 5 of them while fishing. So, like setting 5 bank poles while out fishing.
I can tell you right now.
You were getting taken.
I can tell you right now on the bank poles, y'all, if all you wanted to do is catch a blue cat or channel cat or something, like if you put cut bait on them, they're gonna catch. Like you're gonna catch fish on them. We're fishing a live bait on them, trying to catch flathead, so I'm not really worried about a blue that much or whatever. We kept one blue. Keith and Tara took it. I dressed it for them. Yep.
Trot lines are the only way a lot of people fill a freezer, especially the farmers and the farm hands I know who work too much to pole fish. That was from Glenn. He put that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I had my bowl out here.
Y'all hit us up on some questions. Bradley answers. Thank you, Paul.
I know it's getting late. We're probably losing some people.
Heck no, we up there, babe. We good.
There's the cheap meat, y'all. I'm gonna cut that up a little bit. Start cutting some fish up. What time is it?
10 o'clock.
Oh, I gotta get some sleep.
Me too. I gotta work.
I'll tell you what, I'll cut the big one up, show y'all how to cut the big one up.
He'll
Probably,
continue the whole process till he's done.
no, I'm not either. It's gonna take too long. I'm gonna cut the big one up, we'll package it up, and the others will ice
Yeah,
down
Edward said, we're hanging out.
tonight. There's the cheek meat. I like to cut my fish across the grain, so that's a big cheek meat. I'm gonna actually cut it into like some strips.
Good job, Paul.
And it'll go right in there with all of our other fish. I'm not keeping that separate or nothing. It is a good little chunk of meat there. On a fish that big, we'll get a lot of questions. Why didn't you cut the cheek meat out? Well, because it would have been the size of a quarter maybe. It's just not worth it. I say this a lot. The belly meat, look at that. 46-pound flathead. Look how thick that is. That's a chunk of meat. That's probably 5 pounds of meat right there. There is some fat down on this end, so y'all always see me like trim a little bit of that off and get rid of it right there.
Oh,
The big one's like this. Cut that belly meat right there like that. Look at that.
I had a brain moment.
Look at that. Maybe
No,
we
you're
went
good.
too close
You're
to
good. No, it's
camera,
good.
I'm not
I see
sure.
it.
So then, all I'm doing, that belly meat right there, cutting it into strips like that right there. That's all I do.
We were on the river this morning. Okay, so Paul said he was actually planning to go on the river this morning, but was sleeping too good, and then it got too hot.
It is too hot.
But today was the first day I had a chance to relax. Flatheads have a thick belly meat, even small ones. It takes a big blue to get enough belly meat to matter.
Yeah, and the blue belly meat to me gets a little tough too. If it's too big to me.
Right.
What's the question?
No question, but no question.
Oh, you want me to mention it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I had a brain moment.
Danielle had a moment.
Yeah.
We are trying something different, y'all. I don't know how many coffee drinkers we got out there, but if anybody ends up trying to get a hat or something like that, Mr. Joe has ordered some coffee mugs with our logo on there.
Yeah.
I think he ordered half a dozen or something just to see if there was any interest in them. I told him we wanted a couple. Me and Danielle's getting a couple. So
I'm a big coffee drinker.
there is limited supply. I drink coffee at work. She drinks coffee every day. But there is some coffee mugs available. I think he may have already put them on the online store. If he didn't, I know you can contact him and ask him. But if there ends up being more orders than we have, or somebody wants those, y'all can let us know in the comments too if there's any interest in any of that. The koozies,
Go
got
ahead
some
and order
koozies
them
on there.
if he's got it on there.
Could take like up to 2 weeks to get like new ones, because those have to be printed and shipped in. That's not something
Joe said they're on the store.
okay.
It up,
They're on the store, so there you go. That's not something that they do in store.
Yeah.
So that.
But if you're in Louisiana, North Louisiana, I have to say on a personal experience, if you're in North Louisiana and you need somebody to do some monogramming or whatever, I had them monogram some towels and everything for a wedding gift, and absolutely amazing. They did a great job. Dylan, our son, had them do some work on some stuff that he does. Absolutely great job. So
Our shirts,
yeah,
hats. I got the hat on. Danielle's got one of the shirts.
Yeah.
I ain't got the shirt on, but yeah, if y'all ain't checked any of that stuff out, want to check it out, we'll come back and drop the. Maybe Danielle can
great.
that. Hey, drop that in the comments on your phone. The link tree. Drop the link tree in the comments. She's gonna drop the link tree in the comments. It's our merch store. Opaloosis bank poles is in there. Cajun lights, we used them last night. Swamp Gear coolers, we had our Swamp Gear 20 with us last night. Had our, I don't know, that thing holds ice pretty good, keeps our drinks cool. We had it with us last night. What else? Am I forgetting something, Danielle?
What?
If I forget something, I ain't had much sleep.
Let's not.
So I'm just taking that rib meat off. That's all I'm doing.
Keith, Tara, and Drake made it home.
Keith, Tara, and Drake made it home. Go check it out.
Thank y'all for visiting us.
Got that good meat. That's just a chunk of meat right there. And I'll take that. Cut it across the
Give me
grain.
just a second. I'm working on that link. I'm going to try to get in here.
And look, if you're local, I had a local guy hit me up the other day. Said, "Hey, I ordered ordered a hat and a shirt, couple shirts or something like that. If you're local to West Monroe or ever come to West Monroe, I'm not telling you don't order something online, but there's no need in ordering online. You can contact Mr. Joe at Bayou Threads in West Monroe. They're on Antique Alley. They'll give you he's probably got the store address or something. He'll give you the location. You can swing by their shop and pick up that stuff. You can order a hat. He'll let you know when he gets it ready, or if he's got it in stock already. Shirts, kind of put you in an order. You can stop by there and pick the stuff up. He also handles Redline Outdoor stuff and our stuff and slot limit baits stuff, I believe. Who else am I forgetting? Yeah, he handles all of our stuff, so yeah, tight community here. People working together to make outdoors a better place.
I want y'all to know, if y'all see us out in public, it's the same way. If y'all see us out, we don't mind if y'all say anything to us or, come up there. We have it, promise you,
I said that a while ago.
daily, that we don't mind if y'all say anything to us, that kind of thing.
I said that a while ago, and the only thing, like, we get the comments about, like, sure would like to go fishing. Y'all, that's, I don't know if that stuff's ever going to happen because we stay so busy. We'd love to go fishing with everybody, y'all, but it's just like this weekend's a perfect example. We were so strung out. To put shorts out and lives and put
Riley ain't even got time to go fishing with me all
a video out a week. We rarely get to go. Danielle's right. We rarely get to go, just me and her, and fish and not actually turn cameras on. So, if I get an extra day, I'm just being honest with y'all, I'm probably taking Danielle fishing and we ain't turning cameras on. No offense to anybody. It's not that we don't want to meet y'all or go fishing. I'm sure at some point in time there will be some events or something that we're going to try to, probably be like some charity stuff or something, that some of us, maybe we'll get 2 or 3 of these YouTube channels together and do like meet and greet or something, or maybe show up at one of those deals and cook something, kind of like what K-Fred and Stalekracker and those guys do. I don't know, eventually we'll probably end up doing something like that. Right now it's just a scheduling conflict, with our work, and when we're off, we're on hunting and fishing trips, we just don't have time to do a lot of that. So we'll see. Never know what the future holds. I'd love to do something like that. I know Danielle would. I think the other channels would like to do that. Keith and Tara's done a little bit of that. Some of the stuff that they've been involved in. Adam, he stays pretty busy. He's probably more strung out than we are with everything they got going on. So, I don't know. We'll try to do something eventually. And if we ever do that, we'll announce, like, hey, we're going to be at such and such a place or whatever. For now, that's the best I can tell y'all on something like that. What else?
Oh, we got comments like crazy.
Well, tell me what
Mr. Glenn said, I just bought a coffee cup. I think I'm going to pick it up next week. And next order,
Yeah, if you're local, I order hats from him. I go by there, and that's what they're in business for. That's their business is, making hats and shirts and stuff. I order. Sometimes I'll call Mr. Joe. Hey, I need to get a couple of hats. Okay, I'll call you. Or he'll shoot me a text or something. Say, hey, I got your shirts ready or your hats or whatever. I'll swing by there and pick them up. If you're local, don't pay shipping and handling. There's no need. I think our shipping and handling, by the way, is a flat rate of.
A different Paul says, I don't like the shorts. They are tees.
Yeah.
That's hoping that y'all will go to the long videos.
Yeah. Yeah, the shorts are there to kind of. There's a lot of people in the TikTok world and shorts world that don't really watch like long videos and stuff. So the shorts is there to, a lot of people might enjoy. TikTok's got so much trash on it. YouTube same way. Those reels.
Facebook the same way.
Facebook same way. You got so much stuff on there that should not be on there. I think it's only right for us to add some decent, or halfway decent anyway, content in some of those worlds, and that's what we try to do with our TikTok and for every bad there needs to be some good in the world, and that's what we're trying to do.
Tom said, whenever I take my wife fishing, she always outfish me.
Danielle does not always outfish me. I'm going to tell y'all now. Y'all don't even get me started on that.
I will. I can start catching, and all of a sudden he'll go, oh, dang it, dadgummit.
There has been days, for some strange reason, like catching crappie, that Danielle's like setting a hook on every one of them. And it has to do with the bite, 100%. Some days crappie bite softer than, and Danielle don't really set the hook. She's got this little.
I got a gentle.
She got this little pulling motion. She's like this, like this,
I always say,
like
don't
a little
manhandle it.
delayed. And sometimes them crappie will bite a little softer in the way they hit, like they're not really. I don't know. Sometimes that little halfway hook set works better than snatching their jaws off like I do.
Bradley, I have to have ninja skills.
So there's days when she's beat me, I ain't gonna lie. Brim.
Oh, I love brim
I'm
fish.
pretty good on the brim. She's probably not beating me on the brim fish. I'm just gonna go and tell you.
No, it all depends. Like this weekend, it was just a relaxed weekend. Like if we're in our kayaks and we're going down the river.
Catfish. When we tried to go shoot a catfishing video, pole fishing, she beat me. I ain't gonna lie.
Y'all, I want to
She was
catch a
catching more.
big flathead on a rod and reel.
What y'all think about that? I think if we tried real hard at night to go in some of the areas where we're bank pole fishing and actually catch a flathead, that we could actually go and catch a flathead. So I've got some ideas for that. We might actually try to shoot a video doing something like that.
Glenn said he's had 5 or 6 new subscribers from our channel.
Hey, yeah, y'all go check out Glenn's channel. If you hadn't subscribed, if you're on our live, Raised Outdoors. He's in the, all you gotta do is click on his header there. He's on our channel, on our live right now.
Yep.
He supports us a lot through views and comments and making the algorithm work there. Got a lot in common. They do a lot of catfishing, limb lining and stuff.
Mr. Bill says,
He wears the blues out.
I can't stand to be around more than a couple of people at a time. I'm the same way.
Yeah, we all there.
I'm the same way. I got my circle. I got my circle. Let's see. I'm going back through. Y'all hit us up on these. One person said, look, Bradley, we're here for the long haul. We haven't been on the live for 3 weeks.
It's not that at all, y'all. I am like dragging.
We're beat, and we both have to go to work, so.
I'm dragging big time.
We took a nap.
I want all this fish put up. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
we took a nap, and my nephew walked in the back door, and I looked over, and I was like, huh? I didn't realize he had come in. So, yeah, y'all definitely hit us up with any questions you have, any comments.
I ain't got no marker out here.
Before we
You want
say
to get
I
a
still
marker
love
and
you
mark
stuff.
these? We'll put them in the freezer.
Okay.
I'll cut up a few more right quick. You've had to.
I'm ready to see some hog trapping videos. I've been saying I'm ready to go and do that.
We trapped a hog.
We didn't trap a hog.
Mr. Joel trapped one, but
Joel trapped one.
we went and helped him.
But we
Get
are
it.
working on a sounder. So that's
Yep.
a good thing.
Yep, he's got a sounder showed up here pretty close to the house. Maybe we'll get them baited up. Who knows?
Edward says I like to catch brim during the day and catfish at night.
That's us, pretty much. I do like to catfish at night, but like as far as just going out and sitting and fishing, oh, them bugs was bad last night.
Especially whenever we turned on our lights.
We was moving around a lot, you know, in the boat.
Yeah.
I will tell y'all this: if you're gonna bank pole fish and limb line fish and all that stuff,
Get you some off.
16-foot boat works a lot better than a 18-foot boat. We took the big boat last night because there was 5 of us in the boat and all of our gear, and that was tough in the current. Very tough. Chasing pool noodles in the lake, not a problem. But doing bank poles and limb lines in current, it was a problem. It was a little rough. We made it. Just it wasn't very. You couldn't maneuver very fast, so that was a problem. Look at there again. That's the other side of that fillet. Nothing but good stuff left there. Get all that fat. People talk about like, oh man, why didn't you bleed that catfish? Yeah, if you bleed it, this will turn whiter. I'm cutting that out anyways. So what good would I really have done if I'd have bled it? There's nothing wrong with that meat. It's white. Right? Just my way of doing things. That's the way I've always done it. I have tried bleeding them. I have bled them. You know, we're honestly, the meat's fine doing it like I do it. We're taking pictures of these fish for thumbnails and want to show y'all these fish and stuff on the live. That's probably half the reason I don't cut the tail off of them.
We didn't have mayflies attacking us the other night. Now, Bradley and I went fishing one evening, and we did. It was,
That was last year.
yeah, it was awful.
Oh,
Like,
mayflies get bad in Louisiana here.
oh my goodness. I mean, we finally had to leave because it was covering the boat. We couldn't even talk because they were going, yeah.
You get a rag to wipe them off a little bit.
And I gotta, want me to go ahead and mark some? So
Yeah, but they're all over here in this bowl.
okay, so
I'll set you up on this table in just a second.
let's see.
Oh, mark some new ones, yes.
Yes, that's what I was
Yeah,
asking.
no, that's,
I needed to get some more back,
Perfect.
so we have.
no, we need to use them more, that's fine.
Y'all, I need my reading glasses on. Mayflies don't bother me, but the gnats are no go. Whenever I say these mayflies,
Oh, they were so thick, it was like
Yes.
3 inches of them in the bottom of the boat.
it was all over us.
Stomp, they were horrible last year.
Yeah, like
I
we
hadn't
can-
seen them that bad this year, though.
No,
Last year on the river, when they hatched out, like, or whenever they was doing their thing, it was bad. We was actually trying to film a pole fishing video. That didn't go very well.
Steve said, just got back from fishing my local river, caught a little 4-inch smallmouth, 2 medium rock bass, surprisingly 2 crawfish that wanted to worm on my hook.
Hey, sometimes
Gnats have been bad.
sometimes you just gotta put a few in the freezer till you get some more. I've been there. That's what I used to do when I was younger. When I bass fished a lot, there was a lot of small packages of fish in the freezer. Take 2 or 3 fishing trips sometimes to get a mess.
I noticed you don't put
Are
any
you
water
right
in
on
your
that?
bags.
No,
We do put water
I
in the
do
bags.
put water in the bags. I'm going to put water in the bags. Who was that?
Paul. Another Paul.
Yes, I do put water in the bags. What I don't do is right now, you know, this meat is very capable of soaking up water. I don't want to put the water in there till last minute right before it goes in the freezer. That's what I'm trying to do. But yes, we do put water. If not, it's gonna freezer burnt. It won't last 3 months in the freezer. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Probably the best way to do this would be cut bigger chunks of the fillet. Probably what I should start doing on these flatheads. I could do that tonight with what's left and go on and get it all in the freezer. Is don't cut it all the way up till you take it out to cook it and eat it. That way all that meat don't soak up that water. That would be a much better way of doing it. I don't know. I've just been doing it like this for so long, so it's hard to break habits, y'all.
I hope we didn't miss any questions. If I have, because of certain situations, y'all just hit us up again. I haven't looked at them just for a second. Made some right there.
And we will come back and answer all those comments on yesterday's video too, by the way. We'll make sure we get all that done.
Bradley will probably take the time.
What do you think we should do, girl? Ice these fillets down to tomorrow? That's going to be a lot to put on up. You hear me?
That's your call.
Yeah. What I would like to do. Let's do that. So
how many pounds of catfish meat do you reckon you have total?
See, this is basically the big fish and half of a small one. Probably 20 pounds of fillets in there. That's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16.
That's more bad.
That's 16 pounds right there at least, minimal. We probably got
You want me to do it?
35, 40 pounds of fillets, boneless meat. Keep it on the white because that's all I'm wiping off.
Yeah. Gotcha. Get y'all's last comments in. We're tired.
Yep. Got to get some sleep, y'all. Any last comments, questions, concerns? Y'all let us know.
Where do y'all want to meet tomorrow so I could get a couple of those bags? That came from Paul. It's turning. I
Paul,
work.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to sell a few and all that, but with all the jump, hoops you gotta jump through to do that. My last conversation with them was, we hold a commercial license. Just ain't worth it to us. You know, we catch enough for the freezer. We eat fish. We eat fish 3 times this week already. Yeah, I ain't saying we won't sell none. I hold all the licenses to do it legally, but at this point, I don't even want to deal with it no more. Kind of burned out on that. We sold a few last year. It was a pain in the rear to do all the paperwork. Have to send it in once a month. I don't know. There's got to be an easier way than that. They are going to some electronic stuff to make it easier on people. It's still a pain. They're all over the place. got a letter from them getting on to us about not sending in monthly stuff, or we ain't been selling any, so they didn't send us any reports to send in this year. So I was just like, okay, whatever. They didn't send them, maybe they don't want them back. So I mean, I can't send them in if you don't send them to me. So they're like, no big deal. I said, you know what? And I told them, I said, that's the reason right there. Y'all put like the commercial fishermen, the guy that wants to just fish a little bit and sell 300 or 400 pounds a year to make a little extra money, pay for his hunt license stuff. That's the guys they put out of business. Or that's the guys that sometimes they might do things the wrong way, you know. Almost they make things worse by trying to over-regulate.
He said we
stuff.
don't have to make it formal like that.
Yeah.
So, in other words, you want to be like our daughter and son, hey, or our nephew, hey, can I have a package of fish? Yeah, come get it out of the fridge. We got you.
I'm pretty beat down, y'all.
Yeah. Well,
I will show
Edward
y'all this
said
real
that,
quick on the water,
we needed a
because he's asking about the
cup
water.
of trucker coffee, and
Huh?
we would, because you're complaining about how tired you are.
Oh,
He's always complaining about how
I
tired.
took a 2-hour nap before this live. I'm running on fumes right now. I really don't want to go work 12-hour shift tomorrow. I really don't want to be like that at work, so I'm just gonna shut her down and we'll stay live till I get all these packs ready to go in the freezer. I still got to ice fish down, get rid of the fish heads and all that stuff. That's it right there. So all I did is just put just enough water in it to get the air out of it. Kind of slosh it around a little bit, because you'll get some little air pockets down in this two-layered fish a little bit, right? Kind of slosh it around, let that air come up out of there. Seal it almost all the way off, and then I kind of turn where the air will go out of it, put that up, and then seal it off. There's very little water in that. And that fish is good like that in the freezer for 6 months. Some will end up getting ate probably after 6 months, and it'll be fine. I'm just like almost guaranteeing you it's good for 6 months like that.
We do not garden. We haven't gardened in a couple of years due to
We love it.
love it.
Love
Like,
the fresh
I
vegetables
love
even
doing my
better.
pickles. I love making jelly. I love all of that.
We don't
stuff.
have
making
time.
salsa and everything, but
The content that
Yeah.
we do on our YouTube channel, the hunting and fishing, to do what we do and garden,
yeah.
we would have to be doing YouTube full time, and we're not there yet. We're not at that point where we can walk away from work and do this full time.
Which I have some people bring me some vegetables from their garden, so I hope I can start putting up some salsa and my pickles and stuff like that. But as for our garden, we have not.
Oh,
I don't even have my chickens anymore.
We did gardens for
Because-
years, y'all. We've
Yeah.
got a garden right out here. I still got T-post Joes to put my electric fence around and all. Watermelon, squash. Our thing is peas, squash, cucumbers for pickles,
Yeah.
watermelons, cantaloupe.
Yep. Peas.
What else?
I mean,
What
I
am I
put
missing?
up everything. I make jelly.
We
I
love
do
having
all,
our own peas.
Yeah, I do all kinds of stuff. I just cannot be between this and my job and Bradley working. Just
And we got nut grass in.
common sense to know when to say, okay, enough is enough.
Our garden spot's got the everyday deal out there weeding the garden.
On a side note, dealing with a garden, I cannot do tomatoes in our garden. Our soil is not fit for tomatoes, so I'll have to do that in a bucket or something separate if I ever start doing something like that.
So that's it right there. Y'all seen what I did? I put just a little water in there, push the water out.
Oh, the show's fam said, I just seen that y'all are live. About missed it.
What?
You're hanging in there just a little bit.
Who?
The show's family,
Oh,
they come in and they talk.
when they're late.
Yeah.
Y'all
That's
missed.
okay.
You'll have to go back and look. Y'all don't want to miss the 46-pound catfish we just cleaned. Y'all have to go back and watch the beginning of the live. Probably get a lot of comments on this. Hope they're all positive. Not trying to put no negativity on nothing. That's fine. We can take it. We got thick skin. We can take the negative. As y'all see right there, hey, that's what a 46 pounder looks like after I catch him. Right there. That's I don't remember how many meals that was, but however many what I say, 16. That's 8-quart Ziploc bags,
Yeah.
something like that. And each one of them quart Ziploc bag feed 4 people, and you'll probably have a piece or 2 left over to snack on later. No doubt in my mind, this is the easiest way to do fish that feed 4 people. I know it's about 2 to 2.5 pounds of fish. It's about 2 pounds. I know if 10 people's at the house, I'm gonna need 2.5 of these. If I've got 8 people coming over, you know, or 8 people total eating, I need 2 packs. Easiest way to do it.
I can't have free range chickens because Peanut wants
Fox,
to be friends
dogs,
and Oakley.
cats.
Oakley really never bothered our chickens. I've had ducks, geese, and chickens. My ducks and geese were free range. My chickens, I did not let them
Come
out.
over here and hot them. I'll be right back.
I'm poking there. That way I can watch my spraying the water hose. But I can't have free range. I would love to. That would be neat. But Mr. Bill, I like watching all of your stuff, like on planting. Because, yes, like I said, we're getting stuff from other people, and they have asked, you know, if I needed cucumbers and stuff so I can make my pickles. So that's a blessing whenever other people give us things, and I can make my salsa, and my cucumbers and stuff like that, and put up different vegetables. Yeah, we're fixing to end our live. I don't know if he's going to go live tomorrow whenever he's finishing up everything. So that's definitely, we just play it by ear on the lives. I think he gave y'all a heads up that we were going to go live. Dylan and I have tried to tell Bradley to give y'all a heads up if we're going to go live. That way y'all can prepare. But I don't know if we're going to go live tomorrow night or not to finish this up. So if we do, we will definitely try to put something in our comments to let y'all know that, hey, we're going to go live at such and such
Did you
time.
drop the
I did. I think I
merch
dropped
store?
it several times. Our link to our link tree. If you don't see it, it is in our description of our bio. So let's see. My sweet potatoes are growing crazy. I think I still have 75 vines growing. And I saw your comment, Mr. Bill, about the sweet potatoes, that I can do them just like I do my squash fries, which I'm thinking about doing, because I love sweet potatoes.
How long has it been live?
For quite a while.
All right, guys.
Since 7:30.
All right. What time is it now?
It's 10:30.
Oh, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
I gotta get everything cleaned up, get a shower, get in the bed, get up at 5:15 in the morning. That's how I roll. All right, guys. You ain't even in there. Get in there.
I'm in there. That's not right now.
Oh. All right, get in there.
I'm in there.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Appreciate the support to the channel. Couldn't do it without y'all. Couldn't do it without the viewers, the support, the comments, the interaction, all that good stuff. Y'all know the drill.
I told him we might go live tomorrow evening. Not for sure.
I doubt
If we
it.
do,
I doubt it tomorrow. Maybe later in the week. I don't know what we'll be doing.
well, we got family things going on.
I gotta get some rest. The next
Yeah.
2 days, I'm just gonna go and tell you now. I'm not going live tomorrow.
So that's a no. So he'll be doing his fish by himself.
No, I'm gonna probably sleep early tomorrow. Yeah, I don't get off till 6:30 in the afternoon, so no, that's a no. Anyways, appreciate all y'all. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. We'll try to come back. We'll try to come out. If you got something we didn't answer, come back in there and comment on the live after it uploads, and that way, or once we shut it off, we'll be able to come in there and answer it. And we haven't done any of the comments questions, any of that on today's video with Mr. Jimmy. We'll have to catch up on that in the next day or two.
Yeah, I think I'm going to let Bradley enjoy all those comments.
It's pulled a ton of views, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of typing to answer all those.
Y'all have blessed us on that one. Definitely check it out if you haven't. That's our most recent video that dropped. I mean, it is going in great detail of a lot of stuff.
I'm pretty humble about that one too, because
Yeah.
that's where we come from. That's what started the YouTube channel, was hog trapping and hoot net fishing. So I'm humbled about that one. Tickled that we can go out there in a video take off like that. Hopefully it does good, keeps doing good. I don't know if it will. I don't know if it won't. It's already done exceptionally well and better than I thought it would. I don't tend to, everybody's like, oh, it's going to be a good video, it's going to do well. I don't really look at it like that, you know. I'm just out there doing what we do, and I wanted to show a little bit more in depth about that with Mr. Jimmy, and we'll accomplish that. Oh, last but not least,
He had a break moment.
yeah, this is what I meant to say at the beginning of the live, and you got to watch all 3 hours of the live to get to this part. So the ones that stayed in there, y'all gonna get it.
Mr. Bill?
A lot of information come out in today's video. That video was 54 minutes long. When I got done editing my video on the first cut, we had 3 hours of footage.
Oh, that's, okay, yeah.
We had 3 hours of footage. There is still tons of information from Mr. Jimmy and that boat ride, net haul, fish haul that I cut out of the video to pack and cram as much of the real good stuff as possible in that video. We raised 9 nets to catch the 7,810 pounds, whatever it was. I think Mr. Jimmy commented on his Facebook page how much fish it was. Put 8,000 on there. Look, he had his 8,000 pounds. He had 4 nets we couldn't raise because we couldn't get them in the boat. That's a 32 boat with a 300 horse motor on it. We could not get it on plane, and he had nowhere else to put any fish and had no more ice. The next morning he went back and had about that same amount in 4 nets.
Wow.
So we're gonna probably do a 2.5, 3 hour uncut version of this video, and I'm doing it just because it's fair to the trip, it's fair to the information. It's gonna be a long video. It probably won't perform as well as this video did, but it'll be reshared in the HootNet world. There was some things in there. Everybody's looking at that video right now like, oh man, we learned a lot from watching this video, but there's still so much more that I couldn't put in the video because it would have either underperformed on YouTube or something like that, and I didn't want to cheat the video like that. I wanted to get out there because I wanted to pull views. I want it to go viral because I want to shed the light that we did on the commercial fishing world. We're telling a little bit about the sustainability of fish in the place where he was fishing, Louisiana, and we're telling a little bit about the good that he's doing. He's out there with his sons, teaching his sons how to work, how to be young men, how to, if you want some money, you got to work. You know, if you want something new, you're going to have to work for it. You know, he talks about his son playing travel ball and needing a baseball bat. Well, guess what? You got to go shovel some fish, you know. Got to make some money or you can't get one. That's why he's teaching those lessons. And you got to look at the whole picture of what's going on there to see all that. The people that's employed by just what he's doing. Some of the Facebook posts and stuff, there's been so many comments between our page and his and different ones. There was already comments from some of his old duck hands who I do not even know that thanked him and appreciated him for that. I brought that into the light, and that when they got laid off and didn't have no work, they was able to go with him and make a couple $100 a day or whatever it is he was paying them to tie them over till they could go get another job. So there's tons of jobs out there like this. You know, people say I can't find a job. You hear this all the time, can't find a job. Bull crud. You can find a job, you just can't be lazy. You know, if you're physically able, you can go to work. You can find a job. It might be shoveling fish. It might be skinning fish. There was people showed up, like I said, when we showed up to the dock, they got 8,000 pounds of fish, got to be dressed and on ice right then. There was people pulling up. They have a system, you know. Hey, fish is coming in, be here in 30 minutes. Come on in, you know, to work to dress fish. Well, after their jobs, they get off at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They may go dress fish 4 or 5 hours to help make a little more money to, you know, play travel ball or something. So that's what it's about. Me and Danielle, I've always had like a second gig, whether it was taxidermy or
Our kids have too.
commercial fishing. The kids has always worked or played ball or something.
Both our kids have
So,
college degrees and have worked.
Anyways, I don't want to stay on too long about it.
Several of them have already posted and said they want the uncut version.
Yeah, there's going to be I don't know how it's going to be titled. I had it already edited and had like 2 hours, 45 minutes. And I should have uploaded it then. I didn't have the internet access it takes a long time to upload 3 hours of video. We just got fiber, so now I can upload it a little bit easier.
Our son just got
It's I wasn't able to keep that in my editor, so I'm going to have to go back and re-edit it. It may take me a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks to get that video out. That'll may be like a midweek bonus video. I'm not real sure. Kind of depends on how much content we get in the next few weeks for Sunday videos. Either way, probably going to do an uncut version. I don't expect everybody to watch it. It's going to be some of the same footage, but it's going to be 2 hours of uncut footage that wasn't in today's video. So the people that really got an interest in the hoop net fishing and Mr. Jimmy and myself talking about, you know, and part of that's, it wasn't rehearsed. Nothing's rehearsed. What you've seen, I know what the video, like what we wanted, and the thing for me to do in those instances was to pick his brain and ask the questions and get him. All I had to do with Mr. Jim was get him rolling. Once he got rolling, if I asked him something, the information he put out there was right on point. So all good stuff. It's too good information for me to cut it and not bring it back to the channel. So that's going to be coming up. Y'all can look forward to that. I'm going to hold that footage and try to get it done. What is that?
I'll let you say something.
Thank you, Matt McKinnis.
Get everything in.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that.
We don't ask for that.
Yeah, we don't ask for gifts, but nothing goes unnoticed. Appreciate everything, for sure, by far. People don't realize, some people do realize what goes into it. A lot of people don't realize what goes into it. So we don't ask for handouts, anything like that. We work hard for the channel. We work hard for what we got in life and what we do. I didn't have a whole lot growing up. Had some unfortunate circumstances. But my dad always worked hard. He got hurt early on in life. He had a good job, got hurt. Was 30 years old and was given 30 days, 3 months to live. And he lived 30-something more years. So thankful for the time I got to spend with him. That's where all this stuff comes from.
That's the one that Caitlin says that is her hunting buddy.
Yeah, that's where all this stuff comes from.
Yeah.
All of us. If he would have, I was 6, 7 years old when he wasn't supposed to live. If he wouldn't have made it through that,
Our grandbaby's named after him.
I probably would not know how to do all this stuff.
No.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell. So the stuff y'all see goes a lot deeper than the knowledge and stuff. What I'm not saying we know any more than anybody else, but what we put out on the channel, a lot of it I bring back to the channel, so it's saved from now on. Just like the slat trap build and all that, that was steady stuff. I wish 1,000 times that we'd have started filming earlier and had him in some footage and stuff, building his slat traps and doing some of that stuff. It'd been way easier. I wouldn't have had to make the slat traps. I could have just filmed him doing it. Would have been great.
He would have been right up
But
in the middle of it.
that was the kind of thing that that's one example. The building the hoop nets and stuff like that, he did all that. I did it, but I did it just enough to know how to do it. So all of that is bringing it back kind of for him too. He would have done all that. I'd have been able to film it and it'd have been on YouTube. But I'm doing that to save it and kind of preserve what we do. That's why I do the YouTube. So appreciate anything. Anyways, all right. Enough of me talking.
We gotta say goodnight
Yep.
because I gotta get up early in the morning for work. He's gotta get up early in the morning for work, and as much as I would love to retire,
Y'all have y'all have a good week.
yeah.
We're gonna try to.
We
get
go
our-
live again. We will definitely, like Bradley posted it earlier, giving y'all a heads up. because
Pretty
I think
sure.
that
I don't
helps
know if
y'all.
we'll do another live or not this week. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do better about posting them ahead.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought about going live on
I'm
my
gonna
TikTok.
have some off time not this week, but the following week.
Mhm.
We think we're gonna be a little busy again this coming weekend, early in the weekend, maybe toward the latter part of the weekend, Sunday, Monday, somewhere in there. Maybe we get back live. We'll
Yeah.
see. It's gonna be tough this week for us to get back live, just with my work schedule. So, anyways, appreciate
we have
y'all.
grandbaby time.
Y'all have a good one. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave, the like.
Check our
Appreciate
link tree,
all the
buy you
comments.
threads. Our coffee cups are in
We
there.
done said all that.
Yep.
Everything's there. Y'all go check it out. Y'all know what to do.
Yep.
Yeah, God's country hunting and fishing, keeping it real. She didn't even say really real. Look at her. She's over there.
I'm looking
Oh.
at comments.
She's over there still checking out the comments.
If it
107,
was me, I would go live all the time for y'all.
177 likes. Appreciate y'all.
I don't think y'all want to watch me clean fish. Hello.
Reconnecting. What did I'm trying to close. Oh, I don't even know how to close